On day 1, I poofed into the magical world as a shoe-wearing cat and only 9 hearts. Wait a second, I'm not just any sneakered feline, I'm the Puss in Boots! And I've got 9 lives to prove it! I reached for my hip to unsheath my sword, but my fluffy paws only grasped air. Hurrah! Huh? Where's my rapier? Before I could investigate further, the dastardly villain Big Jack Horner emerged out of the fungus. A henchman standing behind him.
Looking for your sword, Puss? I borrowed it to cut myself a slice of pie earlier. I don't carry knives on me anymore.
Big Jack Horner, stay back! I've got 8 mini swords called my claws, and I'm not afraid to use them.
Didn't you hear, Gato? I've had a redemption arc. I'm no longer Big Jack Horner. I'm big-hearted Jack Horner.
Then who's the henchman with you?
Henchman? I'm a hero now, and heroes don't have henchmen. He's one of my baker's dozens, and because I'm so big-hearted, I give him a dozen compliments every day.
Then why's he got my sword?
Like I said, I don't carry knives anymore. He carries all mine for me.
That doesn't sound very heroic.
You wanna know the lesson I learned after the whole last whisk situation, Puss? I learned I should be more accepting of other people's wishes. So if Butterscott here wishes to chop you into itty-bitty kitty pieces, I'm gonna respect that.
He wishes to what?
Do your thing, Scotchy boy. You're fantastic. And that's compliment number 8 for today.
The henchman started chasing me with my own sword. I made a beeline for the fairy tale forest as fast as my little boots could take me, hoping to survive the night out of sight. Like Herring Horner's gonna beat me with my own sword, but without it, I'm nothing. I need a new rapier. Y rapido! On day 2, I booked it to the fairy tale forest, desperate for another sword to call my own. Jack Horner's no good guy. Where are the real heroes around here? Not counting me, of course, the most famous and fearless of them all. I had to get my ferocious feline anger out, so I took to the trees and battered them like a scratching post. I was able to shave off enough wood to craft myself a wooden pickaxe, then take to the rocks to mine some stone. Like Herring Horner's gonna beat me with my own weapon, I made myself a set of stone tools, a stone pickaxe, and a stone dagger. It's no rapier, but this Catito blade will have to do. I searched for something to test my Catito blade on when I stumbled upon a lake full of salmon. Jack, a good guy? Something's fishy about that, and I will not flounder in the face of evil, but I will have some salmon. I munched my feline flanks into a nice big juicy salmon, but my dinner time was quickly interrupted by dessert.
Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Why are you repeating the same thing over and over again?
Because we're his henchmen. Jack limits us bakers to only one catchphrase per scene.
And he calls himself a good guy?
He wants all the stingers for himself. Oh, I've already gone 21 words off script. Oh no, now 29. Oh no.
As Jack's henchman occupied himself with his word count, I ran away to build myself a base. This seems like the perfect spot for a humble fairy tale base. I could go for a strong glass of milk right now. I constructed my base until sundown. After a hard day's work, I treated myself to a warm cup of leche before crashing out until morning. On day 3, I awoke to the sound of cackling sweeping high above my base. No wonder I couldn't get a good night's catnap. Some sky-flying hag doesn't know what quiet time means. I trudged to the desert to gather more materials for my base. Hoping to expand a bit, I considered adding a soundproof bedroom this time.
Spit, spat, kitty cat. I cast a curse to paws like that.
Against my will, I stopped dead in my tracks. I was under a freeze spell. Did you follow me all the way here? Don't you have something better to do, like contract a candy house or eat a pair of little German twins?
I'm looking for a feline familiar, and as a cat, you're just my type.
Wait a second, you're asking me to hench for you? I don't hench, you witch. I'm a hero. I swung my Catito blade in the air, but the witch was unbothered. It didn't help that I was unfamiliar with anything but my beloved rapier.
Get away from the cat, you old crone.
An ogre burst onto the scene, shooing the hag away with his mighty green hand. Shrek!
Somebody once told me you're in a bit of trouble.
I miss my sharpest tool in the shed.
That big old Jack Horner's a big jerk, Horner. We'll get your sword back, Puss. I promise you.
I need a cat nap.
And I need some onions. Say, does your base serve some good old Scottish gran?
I think that means food, and see, let's go grab a bite. From day 4 to day 5, Shrek and I caught up over battered fish and onion rings.
And so I said, open ye gutties and listen, you idiot. You're wasting me time with your blethering.
Am I just tired, or did none of that make any sense?
I'll have to get you up to speed with all the ogre lingo.
That's when I heard a voice from outside.
Baker's delivery for Puss in Boots.
Oh, those must be the muffins I ordered from the Muffin Man. When you're drinking this much tavern dairy, you need a little something solid for your stomach.
Ask if they've got any sludge muffins. Me mum used to make them when I was a wee sprout.
I answered the door with glee.
Puss in Boots?
I'm the puss with the boots, yes?
Great, 'cause I'm the baker with the blade, and I'm itching to make some baked catalaska.
Oh no, this wasn't any baker, this was Rhubarb, a member of Jack's Baker's Dozen. She charged me with her red Catito blade. Why is your sword red? Is that jam?
Oh, you wish.
My swordsmanship was a little crummy, pun very much intended. No weapon but my rapier would ever feel right in my fluffy paws. A fight this one-sided would need some improvisation. I quickly hid out of sight.
Wait, where'd Puss in Boots go? And where'd this random ginger cat come from?
Shrek, now! Shrek bonked Rhubarb over the head. Defeated, she dropped her red Catito blade to the floor.
Well, did she bring any bread? Shame she's got all that jam on her sword. There's nothing to spread it on.
I don't think you want to eat that, Shrek.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go finish those onion rings.
From day 6 to day 8, I traversed the fairy tale forest, shocked to find an unchaperoned gaggle of sheep. Where's Little Bo Peep, your shepherd? She didn't lose sight of you guys again, did she? She always seems to do that. I ushered the sheep to follow me home, but our trek was soon halted by a horner.
Like my new crossbow? I got one recommissioned ever since you eviscerated my last one. Look, it even says, "For good guys only" on it. That's how you know I'm a good guy.
Where's Little Bo Peep, Jack?
I was getting real sick of randos like her cramping my style with the whole size before name shtick. First it was the Muffin Man's kid, Little Miss Muffet. Then it was Little Bo Peep. Next, Little Red Riding Hood. What's with all these little heroes, huh? What about big heroes like me? Big Jack Horner.
What did you do to Bo Peep and Muffet?
I didn't do anything. The crossbow did. Now say hello to my little friend. What's little cat in Spanish?
Gadito?
Gatata.
Jack opened fire with his automatic crossbow, already chewing into a few of my lives. I knew Jack wouldn't stop until he took every last one of my lives, so I fled back to my base, dodging his arrows all the way home. From day 9 to day 10, I sulked to Shrek in private. I can't believe I, Puss in Boots, keep fleeing in the face of danger. It's just, without my special rapier, I'm nothing. Famous, fearless hero. More like, I don't know, unfamous, fearful loser.
Don't say that, Puss. You're one of the greatest feline heroes of all time. In fact, you're the only feline hero I've seen, except for that other famous orange cat, the one who eats lasagna.
I hate that guy.
But we love ye. So much, in fact. And I've started to build you something special. Follow me and take a peek.
Shrek led me to a statue he'd begun to construct, but I couldn't quite make out what it was yet. Wow, neat. I didn't know you were a sculptor.
Living in the swamps all day gives you lots of mud to work with. It's like pottery clay. Anyways, I don't think you need that special rapier of yours to be a successful hero. I just think you need a wee bit of practice and to try out some other things.
I don't think anything could replace my favorite rapier.
Don't be moping. I planted some magic beans and a giant purple tree grew out of them. I even hollowed it out and inside made you a training room and an armory to flex your kitty skills. I also installed a furnace so we can eat your leche drinks to the most delicious potential.
Magic beans, eh? I heard of those before. Thought it was just a myth, but I guess even a cat is wrong sometimes. As for now, I'll take a shot at that warm leche you just mentioned. Thanks, Shrek. You're the bestest ogre a cat could know. From day 11 to day 12, Big Jack Horner was stewing in his villain's lair.
Who put up the sign that says Villain's Lair? This is the hero's hangout. We've gone over this, Baker number 9.
Once he was finished telling off that unfortunate minion, he retired to his inner sanctum to admire my stolen sword.
At last, at long, long last, Puss's favorite rapier is mine. Little Miss Muffet, check. Little Bo Peep, check. Little Red Riding Hood, check, check, check. I'm just a few fairy tale heroes short until the last one standing is me. Soon, I'll be the world's most famous fearless hero, because I'll be the only famous fearless hero, and I've got Puss's sword to prove it.
A henchman heard all the commotion and came in to check on their blowhard of a boss.
You finished scheming in here, boss? Terror Miss You needs some help with the cookies you've been prepping for your big heroic win. The first time you tried to fire her, her tongue got permanently burnt, so she can't really taste test anything.
I'm not scheming, I'm beaming. Beaming with jovial good guy joy. Now, go fire her for real this time. She hung up a sign that says Villain's Lair.
If you don't want this place to read like a bad guy's den, you should really consider ditching the gothic purple.
Please, it's a non-malicious mauve. Now shoo, Fly Pie, and take her out Hansel and Gretel style. If those twins could push a woman into an oven and still be considered heroes, then so can I.
From day 13 to day 15, I fled to the dry desert, hoping to get that witch off my tail for good. She just wouldn't leave me alone, and I was sick of losing sleep over her circling my base, endlessly cackling all night. Aren't witches supposed to melt when you throw water at them? Why did I just lead us to the most waterless place in the overworld? What made me do that?
Can't think straight without your hero's sword. Come, be my familiar. It is quite the reward.
Quit rhyming!
Old nursery rhymes will soon be a dream, turned upside down as villains will reign supreme.
I'd rather die 9 lives than work for you.
That can be arranged. Now watch me riddle you with mange.
The witch began pelting me with a slew of harmful potions. If I wasn't willing to be her familiar in cat form, I definitely didn't want to serve her as a toad. Though it wasn't my trusty rapier, I drew the red Catito blade and began to strike back. Though it wasn't my best swordsmanship, my cat-like reflexes allowed me to dodge with swift ease. A sword covered in this much jam sure makes me hungry for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. With one final blow, the villainous witch was finally defeated. That nasty old hag took quite a few hearts, but her magical demise granted me bigger in size and, in fact, 30 more lives. I've also got a new claw attack, in case Jack Horner tries to sword me in the back. Oh no, I'm rhyming! This is less than sublime-ing. From day 16 to day 19, I went where Puss in Boots had never gone before, into the mines with a stone pickaxe in hand, instead of a sword. I'll need some stronger material if I want to craft a temporary replacement sword for my famous heroic rapier. I was on the hunt for iron, and I stumbled upon a cavern that was abundant with it. There were also some strange crystals that I had never seen before. Maybe these could be used to build a rare and special weapon? I approached the crystals to try and harvest them, but quickly realized that they were alive, and they were angry. It was a small army of grottles. The gemstone mob swarmed me and tried to snap at me with their pincers. So I drew my Catito blade and broke out some of my famous Puss in Boots style of swashbuckling swordplay. Fear me if you dare, grottles, for I am Puss in Boots. There were a whole bunch of grottles, so I dodged around the cavern, making sure not to get cornered by my multiple opponents. I soon defeated the mobs and decided that sticking to iron as a building material was probably my best bet for now. Iron doesn't come to life and try to attack you. That's true even in most fairy tales. I gathered and smelted enough iron ore to replace my stone pickaxe and Catito blade with an iron pickaxe, iron chestplate, and an iron Catito blade V2. It's like an arts and crafts day, though the art that I'm crafting for is the art of war. From day 20 to day 22, I practiced my fencing skills with my new Katito Blade version 2. Hard at work in the training room Shrek built for me. But no matter what I tried, no slash, slice, or dice felt as natural as it did with my long-lost rapier.
Aye, me wee kitty. Sorry to interrupt, but we've got a big problem at the bar.
Big, as in...
Big Jack Horner's here to order one hot steaming tin of Hero's humble pie.
Hit the road, Jack. We never gave you an invite.
I'm no vampiric villain, Puss. I don't need an invitation to enter. Interesting pub you've got here. What snacks do you serve, other than cat kibble?
Horner-sized knuckle sandwiches. I bounced across the table, ferociously swiping my sharpened claws. Jack and I immediately engaged in a tavern tussle, hand-to-paw combat. But when he pulled out my famous rapier, I stopped dead in my tracks.
Think you're still a hero? Well, we'll see who's at the end of this blade come the final chapter. Ta-ta, Gadito. Those 30 hearts will be in the negatives the next time I'm finished with you.
Aye, I'm so glad I'm taking the back seat in this narrative for a change, Latticat. You don't realize the weight of being a main protagonist until you're watching it from the sidekick's eyes.
Well, if you're my donkey, then I'm your Shrek, and together, we'll make things right. From day 23 to day 26, I found an old guitar mixed in the weapons in the armory. Is this Shrek's? I didn't know he played, but I guess if you're alone in the swamp for long enough, you pick up every hobby you can think of. I decided to clean and tune the guitar so that I could play a few quality jams from the golden old days. What should I play first? Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin? I'm a Believer by Smash Mouth? Ooh, maybe I should play All-Star by Smash Mouth. Or what if I played Hang On by Smash Mouth? That last one wasn't in the Shrek movie, was it? Yeah, it was in Cat in the Hat. And I'm Puss in Boots. I played guitar all afternoon, and I was actually starting to get pretty good at it. Wow, now I'm a musician. Is there anything I can't do if I practice at it for a couple days? And I'm always willing to give new adventures a try. You can see for yourself by searching Zozo to find my other incredible videos. And if you've got any ideas on what I should do next, my cat ears are wide open. That's Zozo to more of my videos. From day 27 to day 31, I partied away at the bar, playing to an audience of several sheep and a single Shrek. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your eyes open, Shrek. Eyes open!
Aye? Oh, sorry. It wasn't that your set was boring. I just started counting sheep, and you know what happens from there.
Did you need me to dial up the volume?
Sure, but I could really use some help taking that statue up a notch too. I ran out of mud blocks the other day, and if we want to see it get anywhere near finished, we're gonna have to get extra. I've got tons of that stuff back to me swamp, but if you could bring your traveling band to the marshlands and bring some back for me, it'd be much appreciated.
Say no more, Shrek. My little cat boot should protect my paws from the sludge. I trekked to Shrek's home swamp, wading through the muck. But upon arrival, I was shocked to find it occupied by another member of the Baker's Dozen.
And if we put some curtains here and an enchanted garden there, oh, forget it. This is a terrible place to set up Jack's new living quarters. For a hero, Shrek's home doesn't quite scream inviting. It actually makes me want to scream in horror.
What are you doing in Shrek's swamp?
Shrek's protagonist's stardom is about to be solar eclipsed. It's only fair Jack takes his famous house with it.
This place isn't for sale. Open house, closed.
Just like I'm about to close the book on your story.
Jack's henchman Baker and I duked it out in the swampy marsh. But like gurgling quicksand, his human-sized body too heavy for the muck, I took advantage of his decreased speed and destroyed him. These muck-resistant boots really did come in handy. Now, without distraction, I gathered up mud blocks into my small, kitty-sized paws. From day 32 to day 35, I learned all too well that there were dangerous things lurking in the swamp when a crocodile jumped out to attack me. I used my claw attack to make it back off for a second. Then I drew my Katito Blade V2. In a while, crocodile, the swamp-dwelling beast snapped and snarled. But with my sword, I sent it packing on a one-way trip to nowhere. How does Shrek spend so much time in swamps like this one? They're so dangerous. But not too dangerous for a brave and heroic cat like Puss in Boots. A sidekick wouldn't last one day out here. Just as I said that, I saw Donkey emerge from among the swamp plants. Hey, Donkey!
You talking about me?
Yeah, you're Shrek's friend, right?
Who's Shrek? I think you may have me confused with someone else.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were the donkey and not just a different talking donkey.
I don't know any other talking donkeys except for myself. I'm just out here looking for waffle mix and waffle toppings for my waffles.
You're making waffles?
How did you know that?
Tell you what, donkey, I'll help you with your waffles, and then I'll introduce you to Shrek. I think the two of you might just get along.
Well, all right, but fair warning, the waffle ingredients are said to be in a bad land, a really bad land. You might even say these are eroded badlands.
Eroded Badlands, waffle mix, different donkey, got it. From day 36 to day 39, I entered the eroded Badlands and saw exactly how bad and eroded they could be. This biome is more like bye, I want to go home. Yeah, that's the classic Puss in Boots wit that I'm famous for. Amidst the ruinous landscape, I glimpsed a general store where I had a feeling I could buy some waffle mix for my new donkey friend. Not exactly the quest I was expecting. There's no steep climbs up a brimstone ridge, no rickety bridge over a boiling lake of lava, no deadly dragon to slay. Hey, sometimes going to the store itself is an adventure. I walked through the front door and was greeted by the clerk.
Welcome. Do you need help finding anything?
What aisle is the waffle mix?
It would be in aisle 1, the sweets aisle.
Thank you. I proceeded to aisle 1 and found the waffle mix and waffle toppings I was looking for. Huzzah! Now I can return to Donkey with his breakfast from a few days ago. I headed towards the counter to pay for the treats, but then a Dread Knight burst in through the front door. He drew a sword and approached the clerk with a mad look on his helmeted face.
Give me everything you've got in the register. This is a robbery.
What? But you're a knight. I thought you guys were honorable.
Times have changed. Big Jack Horner is a good guy now, so that means I'm a bad guy. Now give me everything you've got, or I'll slice you up into little pieces.
From day 40 to day 43, I sprung into action so that I could thwart the Dread Knight's robbery. I came here to buy waffle mix and fight knights, and now I'm going to do both of those things in no particular order.
What the? Who are you?
I'm Puss in Boots. Pray for mercy.
Mercy? You're the one who'll need mercy from me. Without your sword, even a down-and-out knight like me can beat you in a sword fight.
I mean, probably not, but I have to admire your confidence. I drew my Catito Blade V2, and the two of us clashed in a sword fight that had us running up and down the aisle, swinging at each other. The formerly heroic knight was tough and had some strong defenses from his armor, but I was quick and nimble, winning the battle through speed instead of power. With some of my signature acrobatic moves, I put a swift end to the ill-fated Dread Knight. He should have been the one to dread me. I walked up to the counter with the waffle stuff, and the clerk came back out from hiding behind the counter. I'd like to purchase these, please.
Those are free for you, hero. You saved me and my store.
Woohoo! Though, honestly, the eroded Badlands are probably a really tricky place to have a business. I returned to Donkey with the waffle mix, and he thanked me for my trouble.
Thanks. Now I can actually make waffles in the morning instead of eating grass for days.
Glad to help, Donkey. From day 44 to day 49, I returned from my perilous breakfast quest. Gathered up from his swamp, I brought back lots of mud blocks for Shrek. He was pleased to start work on his statue again, even if it was still shrouded in magical mystery.
Thank you, me feline friend. While I was off screen, I planted some more magic beans and an entire perimeter wall grew for protection. It should keep Jack and his bakers out, if not for a wee bit. Although being a sidekick would allow me this much free time.
Did you hang up any no villains allowed signs? That could surely keep them away for good.
No villains allowed? Puss, this guy thinks he's the protagonist. I had to load the place with no hero signs in hopes he'd fall for some reverse psychology. I guess that makes us a sitting target for more villains who actually think they're villains. But all this heroes and bad guys stuff is getting awfully confusing. Oh, my ogre brain.
It's okay, Shrek. Stop thinking. Let's just look at your almost finished statue for a bit. It looks good.
Good versus evil.
Alright, that's enough morality talk for the day. Maybe you should just count more sheep again. From day 50 to day 53, I heard an explosion and thunder of footsteps as Big Jack's bakers' dozens were throwing bombs at my base. Those signs really didn't do anything. What are you guys doing here at the house of Puss in Boots?
We're under orders from Big Jack himself to distract you. Well, something else happens you won't expect.
Well then, I guess I'll have to expect the unexpected. And I expected you to be distracting me from the unexpected. So what I wouldn't expect now is for you to be the real plan, and not the distraction. So that's what I expect now, I think.
Well, that didn't make a lick of sense.
I'll show you a lick after I take you all down in the fightiest fight you've ever fought. On guard, I'm Puss in Boots. With my claws and Catito Blade version 2, I reduced the baker's dozen to a baker's wasn't. Haha! There's more of that Puss in Boots wit. Wait, did they say something about being a distraction? That's when I saw Big Jack Horner taking Shrek away from my base at sword point.
Don't try any funny business, or the ogre gets it. And by it, I mean dead.
Shrek, no! Shrek was being taken away, and somehow the baker's dozen revived again to keep me even more distracted. I defeated all of them again, and could feel more of my heroic instincts returning as my hearts increased to 32. I don't know why, but I feel like I could really climb a wall right now. I tried climbing a wall and realized I had gained some of Puss in Boots' wall climbing powers. Magnifico! From day 54 to day 57, I was forced to complete the side quest of fixing up my base before completing my main quest of saving Shrek from the evil, or quote-unquote good, Jack Horner's clutches. After a proper spiff, I rushed back to the swamps to see if Shrek was being held there, but to my surprise, the baker's dozen were nowhere to be found. I guess Jack settled on a different place to live. That's when the donkey, no, not that donkey, appeared again.
Oh yeah, the swamps are no place for a good guy like Jack.
Donkey? What do you mean by good guy?
You know, big-hearted Jack Horner, the biggest hero the fairy tale forest has ever seen.
Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that, donkey?
He brought me toaster waffles, Puss. I don't need to painstakingly mix waffle batter anymore. I only have hooves, so holding a whisk made cooking incredibly hard. You know, I applied to be Jack's new sidekick, but the position was already taken by some green ogre guy with a vaguely Scottish accent.
Shrek! That's my sidekick, Shrek! Do you have any idea where they're headed now?
You mean your ex-henchman, Shrek? No idea. All I know is that Jack settled in a place far, far away from these mucky, goop-filled grounds. Heroes don't get their boots dirty, and Jack's hands are impeccably clean.
That's because other people do his dirty work for him. Don't worry, Shrek. I'll save you from that purple-thumbed pie-eater. From day 58 to day 62, I remembered this was still a Minecraft video, and that's why I was in the mines. I'd better get some diamond gear. Don't want to look like a noob in front of the YouTube commenters. I'd never hear the end of it. With my iron pickaxe, I dug a deeper hole into the mine by breaking stone blocks. I knew I could find diamonds if I could only find an area where diamonds were. Oh no, this isn't a diamond area, it's a thorn wolf area. Somehow or other, there was a pack of ravenous thorn wolves in the mine, and they all started attacking me at once. Anything but thorn wolves. They're like the complete opposite of diamonds if you really think about it. Well, okay, not if you think about it that much, but still, they are very different. My claw attacks would expose me to the thorn damage from these wolves, so I relied on my sword to chip away at their hit points until they were all pruned away. That was one thorny situation, and a wolfy one too. I had then fought enough mobs that the universe decided to cut me a break and reward me with a cave full of shimmering diamonds. Now this is a diamond area. Might as well call me Puss in Diamonds, because I've got so many diamonds now. Diamonds for days, diamonds for life, diamonds forever. Or at least enough diamonds to craft myself a diamond pickaxe and a diamond Catito blade. That'll do, diamonds, that'll do. From day 63 to day 66, I returned to my lonely base when I had an itch for climbing again, so I climbed on top of it and gazed upon the unfinished statue before me. If only it had been completed before Shrek was taken. If it was a statue of him, maybe I wouldn't feel so lonely. Starlight, starbright, first star I see tonight. Wish I may, I wish I might, have this wish I wish tonight. I stared into the sky, but oddly enough, there were no stars to be seen. Oh, I get it. Now that my all-star's gone, it seems that all the stars have gone with him. Deep down in my furry chest, I knew I'd get my sidekick back, but life without Shrek was anything but a fairy tale. I'm confident in a happy ending for both of us. I guess you could say that, I'm a believer. One of Snow White's birdies told me that every time someone subscribes, a star appears back into the sky. So subscribe to Zozo on YouTube, and maybe, with enough stars, it'll light not only the sky, but the fire in my heart to save Shrek. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to the surprisingly hero-coded biome of the Mojave Desert. Seemed like somebody could really start a journey from here. Wow, this place is so unthreatening and peaceful. I can imagine there being a small town here or a humble farm that is just out of the way. But then the big outside world and its big problems come to roost, causing an untested youth to rise and leave to become who they were meant to be, but also always were in a way. Over the next lush rolling hill, I could see the noble factory of big-hearted Jack Horner, where the hero of the realm dwelled. No wait, he even had me fooled for a second there. I have to get into that place and get my sword back, and Shrek too. The baker's dozen were guarding the gateway as expected, but I trusted my cat-like instincts to be able to sneak by them. My new wall climbing ability would be clawsome to use right now. Oh wow, I just can't get enough of that famous Puss in Boots wit. I climbed over the wall of the factory. Oh man, even the stone bricks look like they are ready to fight evil. Jack Horner really went all out in designing this place. I counted less than a dozen of the baker's dozen outside, so I knew the rest of them would be waiting inside. I fought my way past them whenever they got in my way. Not so distracting now, are you?
Curse you, Zozo and Boots. Curse you and your ability to accurately count groups of people.
Pray for mercy. From day 71 to day 74, I tiptoed through the halls of Big Jack Horner's factory. It wasn't long before I came face to face with one of its more memorable staff members. You nasty old hag! I thought I defeated you. You have a face I'd never forget. Wait, why do you look so much younger and less green?
Nasty old hag? What a villainous insult. I'm Rosina Leckermaul, the friendly sorceress with a youthful glow. See my card.
Wait, you're not looking for a familiar anymore?
A familiar? Oh, darling, please. Only thing I'm familiar with are enchanted facials, cuticle trimmings, and mixing Jack's signature plum-colored hair dye in the perfect shade every time.
So you're no longer evil?
Evil? If I were so evil, why would I give you this chest of beauty-enhancing gifts? You're looking awfully mangy. There's some flea spray in there if you need it.
I opened the chest to find a renegade chest plate. I was feeling a little underdressed in a place so lavish, so I was sure to equip the chest plate right away.
Beautiful, darling. You'll blend right in.
Hopefully well enough to sneak by any more guards. Thanks, Rosina. You are surprisingly helpful.
If I'm not helpful, what kind of hero am I?
From day 75 to day 78, I made it to the tallest tower of the factory, where Shrek was currently being held in a dismal dungeon. Or not? What the heck? Why is this place so luxurious and nice? There are silk pillows and a jacuzzi, not to mention all the pies an ogre could eat.
You gotta get me out of here, laddie. Jack Horner is feeding me pies made from berries and fruits, but I miss me weed rat and onion pies.
I don't know, Shrek. Are you sure you want to leave? Maybe we should take a quick dip in the jacuzzi before we go.
Ugh, gross. It's pure spring water in there with chlorine. I have to sit in swamp mud when I get home to wash away the indignity.
All right, you've convinced me. Sort of. You get out of here. I'll stay behind to look for my sword. I'll bet it's in the jacuzzi. So I'm gonna look in there for an hour. Shrek made his way out of the tower while I settled down to enjoy the hot water of the tower jacuzzi. It just don't get no better than this. I was about to close my eyes and relax when big-hearted Jack Horner stormed into the room.
Oh, Shrek, where did my wisecracking ogre sidekick go? And what is a mangy cat doing in my jacuzzi?
Oh, snap!
Zozo, you've got a real nerve attacking the hero's base. That's a real villain move, and I should know, because I'm a hero, of course.
Well, if you're such a hero, you won't even need to worry when I do this. I leaped from the tub and used my claw attack to push Big Jack out the open window. He began to fall to his doom. Have you ever noticed how so many villains meet their end by falling? Just something to look out for. Anyway, it's too dangerous to find my sword now, so I'm heading home. I left the base without looking to see if Jack actually met his demise from the fall. From day 79 to day 84, Big Jack Horner was falling from the window I shoved him out of.
Well, I suppose this is my final chapter. I should have known villains don't get happy endings, and that good always prevails, and that evil knows no virtue. Goodbye, cruel world. This Big Jack Horner is about to become a little speck in the universe's grand, just plan. And that's what I would have said if I were a villain. But oh, how the tables have turned. This fall won't break me yet, because now that I'm a protagonist, I've got a little something called plot armor.
Jack survived the fall, naturally, because he was the hero in his own mind.
Yes. Watch as my heart grows 3 times as large. I'm not calculated. I'm caring. I'm not harmful. I'm humane. Not Big Jack Horner. Not big-hearted Jack Horner. I'm biggest-hearted Jack Horner.
From day 85 to day 89, I followed the ogre trail that Shrek had left all the way back to the base. By the way, please don't ask me what an ogre trail is in the comments of this video. Shrek was already inside the base, cooking up one of his classic swamp meals. He must have really missed doing things his way when he was being spoiled by big-hearted Jack Horner.
A bit of banana slug, some toadstool squeezings, salamander toes. Oh hey, Zozo, I didn't see you there.
Hey there, Shrek. That's one delicious meal you're cooking up.
I'm about to get a bit of eats with this fire enchantment. It makes the salamander toes nice and crispy. You should try it.
Not to be rude, but I think I'm good.
I was talking about the enchantment, not the toes. Those are all for me.
Shrek gave me a book of fire enchantment, which I would be able to use to give my diamond sword some extra damage in the form of fire. Now I'm one caliente cat. Big Jack better be ready for a barbecue the next time we fight. It had since occurred to me that the pretend hero had probably survived that fall and was out for revenge. But the important thing was that Shrek was back, and I could ask him for advice. So, Shrek, what do you think Big Jack's weakness is? Considering you were in his factory for so long, you must know something.
Layers.
Huh?
You got to have layers to beat him, like an onion.
Is that really the secret?
Yes, it's layers, laddie.
I set out for the convenience store in the eroded Badlands to go get some layers for myself. From day 90 to day 94, I arrived back at the convenience store, but unfortunately for me, it had fallen under new management. What have you done with the clerk?
Whatever do you mean? I'm the owner of this humble slow service store. Didn't you know convenience is the root of all evil? It's all handouts and immediate gratification. It doesn't allow the hero to work towards anything.
Who are you?
The last of the baker's dozen, of course. Lucky number 13.
13 isn't a lucky number. That's like the epitome of unlucky numbers. Why do you think hotels don't include it as an available floor? Why do you think elevators are always missing the button 13? Why do you think they made a horror movie called Friday the 13th?
Ah, I'm a hero, you hear me? The benevolent baker. That's me. I'm that guy.
The baker's onesin charged me with his cleaver, but luckily for me, he was unfortunately cursed with, you guessed it, bad luck. With a single swipe of my claws, the last of the dozen had fallen. Clean up on aisle 1. Behind the counter lay a couple of conspicuous chests. I opened it up to reveal not an onion, but a pair of Outback leggings. How is this? Oh, Shrek meant layers in the literal sense. Clever. This time, I just can't get enough of that classic Shrek wit. From day 95 to day 97, I brought the donkey to my base so that he could meet Shrek. When I noticed the statue was finished. It was a statue of me, and it looked amazing. But of course it looks amazing, since I look amazing. I just wish I had such a rapier as well. Shrek and Donkey were reunited, but the two of them didn't really have much in common, or have much interest in hanging out. I thought it was cool to see them next to each other. Later Later on, Donkey asked me a question I wasn't expecting. It seemed he still didn't quite know what the plot of this video was.
So you've captured me, right? This is a villain thing where you put me down in some dungeon and Jack comes to rescue me?
Donkey, I'm not the villain. I'm Puss in Boots, and Jack is...
Look, man, all I know is some cat with a sinister lair took me to meet his ogre henchman. I'm just rolling with the punches at this point.
I haven't kidnapped you.
Of course not. I'm not a baby goat. I'm a donkey. You donkey napped me.
Well, I didn't do that either.
Well, fine. If you didn't want to steal my feral soul crossbow, that would be a perfect weapon for a villain to take on big-hearted Jack Horner. I don't even know why I'm here.
Can I have that crossbow?
See? I knew it. I knew this was a donkey napping situation. Go ahead and take the crossbow, you feline villain.
Donkey handed over the feral soul crossbow, a weapon that would most certainly aid me in my battle against Big Jack Horner, who was the bad guy. Just in case anybody didn't know at this point, I'm the good guy and he's the bad guy. It should be obvious to anyone who has watched to this timestamp. On day 98, I decided now would be a better time than ever to take a brief break from all the fairy tale chaos and shout out a little something more non-fiction, like the Zozo YouTube channel. If you like adventure, battles, Minecraft, and more, be sure to search Zozo on YouTube to join me in plenty more heroic escapades, or villainous escapades. I don't know where I am on the morality scale right now, but I'm Zozo, and I'm cool, so you should watch more videos. Be sure to leave a comment about who you want to see me turn into next. Maybe as another famous cat, like that awful lasagna eating one or something. On day 99, I returned to the comfortable Shire of the Mojave Desert and made my way into the shining factory on the hill, wherein lay my most epic foe, awaiting our final showdown, the totally not heroic and not good-hearted biggest-hearted Jack Horner. Today I get back both things that you stole from me, my noble blade and my status as the greatest hero this land has ever known.
Shut your trap, you little... your wicked schemes stop here, you vile evildoer. I will not let you destroy my overworld and, all that.
If your heart isn't in this, you can...
My heart? Huh, there's nothing my heart isn't in. My heart is as big as the universe now, and I'm going to use it to crush you into a cat pancake and send you to the heavy side layer.
It's about time that I powered up with my own special item. I donned the Outback leggings that I had bought at the convenience store and became a layered Puss in Boots with 100 hearts and a super high jump. Fear me if you dare.
I dare? I'm the most daring hero around, especially because I still have the hero's blade.
Biggest Jack drew out my famous rapier, and our legendary battle began. Thanks to my many layers, my defenses were higher than ever, and yet, at the same time, Big Jack's biggest heart let him keep attacking without slowing down. I ignited my Diamond Katito Blade Fire enchantment and slashed away, but the heat was starting to make me feel dizzy too. Jack Horner thrust forward with my heroic blade, but I used my boosted jump to leap away. I pulled out the feral soul crossbow and unleashed its full volley on the real bad guy. Now, it's Ogre!
This is all wrong. The hero doesn't die at the end. I want a do-over. Where's my triumph?
But this was not the story Biggest Jack Horner thought it was, because I was the hero of this one, Puss in Boots, and I had taken back my hero's blade. The bigger they are, the harder they fail. On day 100, my sidekick Shrek and his sidekick Donkey threw the biggest party of the century, celebrating Jack Horner's inevitable defeat. When I say hey now, you say all-star. Hey now.
I don't know that song. I guess we're the real all-star heroes of our story, aren't we, Puss in Boots?
DreamWorks makes the teamwork. Now prepare for the end credit dance party.
Am I still donkey napped?
On day 1, I spawned into the glowing ancient forest as Fire Mario! Wahoo! I must have eaten the fire flower to get all this fire power! Also explains why I have really bad heartburn. I've only got 10 hearts, and they're all burning! But I was distracted from my heartburn by a loud buzzing noise. I looked up and saw a giant mosquito hovering above me.
Hey, you got 10 hearts, do ya? Bet there's a lot of blood in those hearts, and sucking blood just happens to be my specialty. The name's Mozzie. Mozzie Mosborn. Pleased to drink ya.
That pun doesn't even work. Drink doesn't rhyme with meat. Eat does.
Oh, I'll be doing the eating around here. One way or another, I'm getting your blood, plumber boy.
I didn't like the sound of that. Mosquitoes suck at the best of times. I turned and ran as quick as my little Mario legs would carry me, until I couldn't even see Mozzie or hear his annoying buzzing. Phew, looks like I'm safe here.
Not so fast.
It was a creeper spiderling, and he looked really mean. I just can't catch a break today. Mamma mia! I wasn't strong enough to use my fire powers yet, so once again, I just booked it in the other direction. Wow, this world has a bug problem. Might be time for this plumber to play pest controller. On day 2, I emerged from my hiding place in the glowing ancient forest. Wow, the plants look really weird and wild around here. I hope at least some of them are edible, or I'm gonna be in real trouble. I searched around, avoiding anything that looked poisonous, until I was lucky enough to find some delicious apples. Molto bene. It's like Ma always said, eat apples. I started breaking down the tree with my powerful Italian fist until I had a bunch of apples to enjoy and enough wood to build myself a wooden pickaxe. Wow, I'm wasted in plumbing. I should have been a carpenter. I mined up enough stone to make a stone sword and pickaxe. Then it was time to build myself a little Mario base. Soon enough, after a few hours of construction, I had a humble shack to call my own. It wasn't much, but it was mine. But some people don't respect personal property. People like the creeper spiderlings, one of whom was coming right towards my base.
Well, if it isn't the boss's favorite refreshment, he wanted me to either web you up or blow you up. And as a creeper spiderling, that's me specialties.
Wow, you're two things that never should have been combined. Plumbing is my specialty, but I double majored in kicking butt. With my stone sword, I took on that gnarly monster and defeated him before he had a chance to detonate my livelihood. That's why you don't mess with me, Mario! Woohoo! On day 3, I was wandering through the fungal patch looking for some delicious mushrooms to add to a mushroom stew I was making back at my base. But there wasn't much room in the fungal patch, cause so much of it was being taken up by a big axolotl. Mind if I pick some mushrooms here, Mr. Big Axolotl?
Yeah, I have a name, and it's Krungus. Also, no, you can't pick mushrooms.
Fair enough, I'll respect your boundaries. Can you recommend anywhere else that I can search for mushrooms?
That's it, Buster. Nobody asked Krungus where to find mushrooms in this overworld. I'm gonna destroy you, just for asking.
The battle commenced! I had a sword now, but Krungus the big axolotl was still too big and too strong. There was no way I'd survive with Krungus among us. I just needed to make like an apple and leave. But the day wasn't a total wash. On the way out of the fungal patch, I ran into a friendly spider llama named Sal.
Hey, Zozo, how's it going, man? You're looking fire.
Oh my goodness, Sal! I haven't seen you since college. We've got a lot of catching up to do. Wanna come hang out at my base? I was thinking of doing some home reno, and I know you're a chartered architect.
Actually, I've taken a different career path. I switched my major to Spider Llama, but I'll still happily come with you, buddy boy.
Oh yeah! From day 4 to day 5, I constructed a perfect spider llama den, just like one I'd see on the Discovery Channel once.
Wow, Zozo, this is amazing. You're a real king. If I've ever been in a spider llama den, it's here and now in this spider llama den.
Thank you, Sal. You always know just what to say.
I'm gonna get some shut-eye. We'll hang like Donkey Kong in the morning. Blada bing, baby.
Sal the spider llama went to bed after that, and just while I was staring at the sky and thinking about life, I heard the telltale legs of another creeper spiderling.
Hey, room for one more spider hybrid? I promise I won't take you to Mozzie. I'm chill, I swear.
Are you lying? Because if you are, you legally need to tell me if I ask.
Dang it! I was hoping you wouldn't ask. The truth is, I'm here to capture you or blow you up. One of the two.
I'm from Brooklyn, buddy. I'm immune to explosion damage. Let's tango. And we did tango. But the kind of tango you do with swords. And I led, which means I defeated him with my sword. Wow, what a victory! And it looks like he dropped something. It was an awesome Kyther blade. This is probably pretty powerful. I'll save this for a special occasion, rather than wasting it on these goji maka snackaroons. From day 6 to day 8, I was in the farther reaches of the glowing ancient forest, gathering materials. While I was out there, I happened upon a few sheep and was instantly charmed by their calm energy and witty remarks. You guys are all right. How about you come back to my base? I'll build you a paddock and everything. They followed me back to my base, where I built a fence around them. They had plenty of room to play, exercise, and contemplate life's biggest questions. But the biggest question I could think of as I returned to the forest was, when did Mozzie sneak up behind me? And why did he have such a sick battle axe?
Hey, Zozo! I got a riddle for ya. What's worse than a mosquito without a battle axe?
I don't know, Mozzie, what?
Darn it! I was hoping you'd tell me. Anyway, my dad gave me this sick battle axe. I'm gonna chase you with it now.
I appreciate your honesty, Mozzie, but how about you don't do that, though?
You should know better than to try reasoning with me, Zozo. I'm unreasonable and proud of it.
I ran away as he buzzed after me, hacking like a madman who drank too much full-sugar soda. There was no way I could face him at my current power level. I just needed to get out of there. Lucky for me, everyone knows a Mario is faster than a bug, so I was able to escape. But I don't ever want to cut it that close again. Who knows what his dad will give him next time? From day 9 to day 10, I returned back to my base, feeling terrified, but relieved I still had all my blood in my body. I always thought a mosquito would just be annoying, but Mozzie is straight up terrifying. Lucky for me, I had my good pal Sal waiting for me at my base in the glowing ancient forest. He immediately ran over with some exciting news to give me.
Hey, Zozo, don't be a bozo. You'll be happy to know. I've got cool stuff to show.
Why are you talking like that?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. Come check out the statue I've been building for you.
Oh, a statue? Why didn't you say so earlier? I ran over to see the statue that Sal had started. It looked awesome. I couldn't quite tell what it was going to be yet, but it already looked incredible. Do you know what it is yet? If you can guess, give me a hint down in the comments. But it wasn't just a statue that Sal had built. He had also made a few other awesome base upgrades, including a pizza joint called Sal's Pizza, a storage room for all our gear, and a furnace for cooking pizzas and smelting metal. This base is just chef's kiss. From day 11 to day 12, exhausted from all the work we'd done in the days before, I decided to sit around and relax with my favorite paisan, Sal the Spider Llama. Feels good to finally relax after these last few weeks. I'd be lying if I said this whole thing wasn't stressful.
You're telling me? I've had that mosquito and his minions all over me for months now. If I didn't have 8 legs, I don't think I would have escaped.
So Mozzie's been a problem for a while, huh? How exactly did this whole situation start? Giant mosquitoes don't just pop out of thin air, right?
Believe it or not, it was all down to bad plumbing.
What? Really?
Yeah, Perino. Bad pipes all over the overworld started bursting. And when they did, it made these big old pools of stagnant water. And you know what lives in pools of stagnant water? Mosquito larvae. And with giant pools, you get giant mosquitoes. Didn't take long for Mozzie to rule most of the mutant bugs in the overworld.
Wow, so a lack of a good plumber caused this whole problem. Then I guess we need a plumber like me to come and solve it.
Yeah, that's the attitude, Zozo.
From day 13 to day 15, I decided to return to the fungal patch, knowing I needed to take on the big axolotl before I had any hope of defeating Mozzie. There are burst pipes everywhere under the overworld. It must be causing a lot of underground moisture. Now I know where all this fungus is coming from. But my day soon went from fungus to Krungus as I ran into Krungus, the big axolotl.
If it isn't that sad little plumber, come to pay your respects to the largest amphibian in the fungal patch? Or do you want to get beat down again?
Nobody's gonna beat me down, you big slimy bully. I'm a plumber. I'm here to help people. Sure, sometimes I show up late. Sure, sometimes I overcharge people. Okay, maybe I drink all the coffee and eat a bunch of cookies from the people I'm working for. But compared to you, I'm still the good guy. And with that rousing, inspirational speech, the battle was on. With my new confidence and new strength, I was able to turn the tables and defeat Krungus, the big axolotl. When I did, I gained enough XP to level up. I got bigger, stronger, went up to 30 hearts, became firier, more Italian, and gained a new power, Fire Breath. Oh yeah, nobody's gonna stop me now. From day 16 to day 19, I decided that I needed some weapons. That's why I ventured down into the depths of a nearby mining cavern. Stone is fine, but metal is really where it's at. That's what I need to swat that nasty mosquito. Using my fire abilities to light the way, I soon found a healthy vein of iron ore hidden in the dark. This is exactly what I need. Let's go! Using my pickaxe, I dug up enough iron to make myself a new set of tools, then started making my way out of the cave. But on the way out, I ran into an angry fire guardian who didn't like people trespassing on his subterranean domain. I guess firepower solidarity isn't a thing around here. I couldn't use my fire breath against him, so instead, I pulled out my sword and battled as hard as I could until I was the only remaining fire being in the cavern. Let's get out of here before any other scary mobs show up. I went back to my base and used the furnace that Sal built to smelt the ore into some ingots. And with those ingots, I built myself a new iron sword and an iron pickaxe. Yeah, this is more like it. From day 20 to day 22, I was rudely woken up in the middle of the night by Sal the Spider Llama.
Hey, Zozo, you gotta wake up, man. Some bad stuff is going down out here.
Oh no, is the plumbing on the fritz again?
No plumbing, man, but we are in some deep doo-doo right now. Mozzie the giant mosquito is right outside, and let me tell you, buddy, he looks thirsty.
Oh geez, I better go and take care of this. I got out of bed and ran out of the front of my base. Sure enough, there was Mozzie the giant mosquito floating in front of my base.
Hey, Zozo, it's me! I'm gonna suck your blood now. I bet with you being a Fire Mario and all, it's gonna be real spicy, like a cinnamon latte.
Not on your life, Mozzie. I'm not gonna let you drain me like a Capri Sun. You and your beastly bugs are never gonna take over the world.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, buddy boy. You ain't got no idea what I got planned. Bad stuff's gonna happen. And I know I'm being vague about it, but it's true. Anyway, let's fight!
I pulled out my iron sword and ran into battle. With my cold iron and my hot fire breath, I was able to hold my own this time, fighting off the diabolical parasite until he couldn't fight anymore.
Whoa! You really are a spicy meatball, Zozo. We'll pick this up another day, okay? I'ma go drain someone else.
And with that, he buzzed off. I was amazed to see how well I'd done in the fight. Maybe there was hope for me after all. From day 23 to day 26, I was wandering around the glowing ancient forest, as I usually do. It feels good to stretch my legs, especially after Sal broke the treadmill back at the base. While walking, I happened upon something amazing, a spiked shell armored piece. Normally, because I was Mario, I'd be concerned about a spiked shell, especially if I was driving. But something about this one just seemed right. If ever there was a Koopa inside there, someone had schlooped it out, so I decided I'd wear it for myself. Wow, not only is this comfy, it gives me knockback resistance, a thorns ability, and extra water breathing. But knockback resistance won't protect you from getting your mind blown, which is what'll happen if you search Zozo for more of my amazing Minecraft adventures. Do it, I dare you. From day 27 to day 31, I was jumping around my Fire Mario base in the glowing ancient forest when Sal the Spider Llama scurried over to hang out with me and tell me about the statue.
Hey, Zozo, I've been clamoring around putting blocks on the new statue, and it's a-going so right, but it needs a little something from use.
Anything for a friend, Sal. You name it, and I'll move mountains to get you to the thing you need for the statue.
You're the best friend a Spider Llama could have, Zozo. You make me want to be a better guy. If you want to go find clay, I'll shower you with even more praise.
Wahoo! That sounds grandioso! I departed for the flowering ancient grove where I could find Sal's precious clay. I was searching around the area when I heard the skittering of spider legs behind me. Sal? Is that you, my friend?
No, it's me, Creeper Spiderling.
Oh no, the horror! Not another one!
Yes, another one. I'm gonna make things very bad for you. Right now.
The creeper spiderling charged in, so I defended myself using my iron sword. I gave myself a little distance and unleashed my fire breath. The creeper spiderling was burned up in a great ball of fire. With the mob defeated, I was able to locate the clay and gather the amount that Sal requested. From day 32 to day 35, I was running along through the flowering ancient grove and fighting skeletons left and right. There were just so many skeletons. I didn't know where they came from. Where do skeletons come from? A skeleton factory? Thankfully, the skeleton fighting didn't go on all day, and I was able to get back to my travels. As I continued along, I met a wind serpent who went by the name Walter.
I'm Walter.
Enchanted to meet you, Walter. My name is Fire Mario, but all my friends call me Zozo. You should call me that too, so you can be my friend.
You're Zozo. I'm Walter. I need help. Will you help me?
Yes, Walter, I'll help you. What do you need?
Rescue my friend Walter the Wolfman from the Ender Creeper.
Your friend is named Walter too?
His name is my name too. Whenever we go out, people always shout, "There goes Walter the Wind Serpent and Walter the Wolfman." Now go save him.
From day 36 to day 39, I discovered the base of the Ender Creeper. It was way less cool and good than my base, but that made sense because I'd heard the Ender Creeper wasn't a cool or good guy. I'm a Mario on a mission. I've got to reunite the Walters and defeat the Ender Creeper who tried to tear them apart. I hopped onto the roof of the base and looked inside through a skylight. I could see Walter the Wolfman tied to a chair, looking really annoyed. Obviously, he was wolf-napped by the monstrous Ender Creeper. I stayed hidden as the Ender Creeper slowly creeped into the room. Why were these hybrid monsters always so horrifying?
Yeah. There's no escape, Walter the Wolfman. That'll teach you to be friends with that wind serpent who has the same name.
You know, it really isn't that big of a deal that my name is Walter and I'm friends with someone named Walter.
Don't make me laugh. Of course it is. Your friendship would just confuse people, Walter. So I'm keeping you from ever seeing the other Walter again.
The Ender Creeper really is a creep. Telling other people who they can be friends with is not right. I'm going to use my fire breath to burn down his wooden walls. That'll teach him a lesson. From day 40 to day 43, I sprung into action, setting fire to the Ender Creeper's base. It's the end for you, Ender Creeper. Release Walter the Wolfman. Walter should be free to be friends with other Walters.
You maniac! You set my house on fire! I have to save my super boots. They're my most prized possession.
The Ender Creeper ran for a display pedestal that had a shiny new pair of super boots. For me! I'll be having those. I ran quickly over to the boots and equipped them. Now I could jump higher than ever before. Thanks for the boots, Ender Creeper. They fit me way better. I jumped down onto him and defeated the creepy Walter Thief. I untied the ropes on Walter Wolfman, setting him free. You're safe now, Walter. Thanks to Zozo, the Fire Mario. You're a hero to Walters everywhere. I can't wait to see Walter again. You can thank me later. Let's get out of here before this place burns down. We left the base and found Walter the Wind Serpent waiting for us outside. The Walters were together again, and everything was better. From day 44 to day 49, I returned to the base with the clay I'd gone to the Flowering Ancient Grove to find. The Walter quest had been such a big thing that I had almost forgotten the reason why I'd been exploring in the first place. I dropped off the clay with Sal so that he could continue to work on the statue.
Bada bing! That's the right stuff! You sure took your sweet time, but the statue is gonna be even sweeter!
I'll be looking forward to it. For now, I think I'll do some renovating on my own. I gathered some stone and iron and constructed a giant wall around the entire perimeter of the base. I built it high to make it more difficult for enemy mobs to break in and ruin my day. When I was done, I admired the progress that Sal the Spider Llama had made on the statue. It was coming along now, and the clay was now part of the charm. From day 50 to day 53, I heard buzzing in the wind and knew that Mozzie had come back to get me. He flew straight over the big strong wall that I had built the other day and called me out like he was a knight making a challenge. An annoying knight, that is. It was actually a mosquito.
Hey, Zozo! The thing about walls is, they can only keep out mobs that don't fly or climb.
I know the wall didn't help at all. I can see that with my Fire Mario eyes, but you're not helping by pointing that out.
Hold on a second, I wasn't listening. Let me say that other thing I was saying again. Or climb!
Mozzie signaled to his minions, a small army of creeper spiderlings that climbed over the wall. Oh no, that's what he meant!
Yeah, how about you deal with them? Cause I'm not gonna be here. I got an errand to run, and I'm taking Sal with me.
Mozzie flew away, stealing away Sal the Spider Llama, and leaving me to battle the creeper spiderlings. I attacked a bunch of them with my fire breath, and then hacked the others down with my iron sword. The battle was over shortly, and the epic win made me power up into Super Fire Mario. My number of hearts was now 50, and I could throw actual fireballs now. Blop, blop, kapow! From day 54 to day 57, I made the wall around the base taller, because if I couldn't keep out the creeper spiderlings, I could at least tire them out by forcing them to climb more before they made it in. This won't do anything about Mozzie though. It's a good thing that he was busy with his errand the other day, but I might not be so lucky next time. Later on, I went to the Flowering Ancient Grove in order to visit my two favorite Walters. Walter the Wolfman was staying with his family when I was there, so I didn't see him, but Walter the Wind Serpent was there.
Thanks again for saving Walter the Wolfman. He would have thanked you himself, but he wanted to see his family because they didn't know where he was during the kidnapping by Ender Creeper. He'll be back here soon.
Walter, what should I do about Mozzie? He's been buzzing around my base and threatening me like always. Plus, he took Sal the Spider Llama away. I also care about that.
Oh sure, we'll talk about your troubles. The thing about Mozzie Mosborn, he's extremely annoying. And you can't beat that just by ignoring him. He wants to drain you like a mosquito, and he'll do any trick it takes to get there. You must fight back.
I get it now. I can build all the walls I want, but if I don't stand up for myself, all in all, I'm just another brick in the wall.
Go to Ethereal Island. There you will find your friend.
From day 58 to day 62, I went mining for diamonds down in the caverns below my base. There were a lot of gas floating around, but with my mad fireball throwing skills, they weren't much trouble at all. Blap, 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 blap. Go away, Ender Gas! With the mobs taken care of, I mined to my heart's content. There were diamonds aplenty, so I gathered them and crafted a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. How do you like me now? From day 63 to day 66, I was bothered by the fact that Sal wasn't working on the statue anymore. But then I remembered that he was probably still in the terribly annoying clutches of Mozzie. I guess the statue isn't really worth worrying about compared to my missing best friend. Sal never came back from that errand that Mozzie took him along for. I should go looking for him. And if you want to look for more Zozo videos and find them easier than ever, you should subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you will be notified of all my videos whenever they're new. Now to find my good friend Sal the Spider Llama. From day 67 to day 70, I did as Walter the Wind Serpent said and journeyed to the Ethereal Island through an end portal. It was a mysterious and strange biome beyond the realm of imagination, just like Brooklyn. I battled the creeper spiderlings non-stop until they left me alone. Those guys had been around more than enough at this point. At one point, I stopped fighting and instead stopped to actually speak to some of the remaining creeper spiderlings. Okay, just humor me for a second before we start trying to destroy each other. I've survived this long. Don't I at least deserve that?
Alright, we'll listen, but then we're totally gonna destroy you!
Why do you actually work for that Mozzie guy? He's really weird and annoying, and you don't seem to actually get anything out of this.
We're all bugs, and bugs have gotta stick together.
But you're not actually the same kind of bug. He's a mosquito with 6 legs. That means he's an insect. And you're creeper spiderlings with 8 legs. That means you're all arachnids. You don't actually have that much in common.
Oh, well, in that case, I don't know why we're here at all. Let's get out of here, boys.
And with that, all the creeper spiderlings left, and I continued deeper into the base. From day 71 to day 74, I ran deeper into the base, searching anywhere I could for my best buddy Sal. Come on, Sal, you've got to be around here somewhere.
Did somebody say Krungus?
Suddenly, Krungus, the infamous big axolotl, came from behind the tree. Krungus? No, I didn't say that because I thought I defeated you.
Ah, you big dum-dum. It takes more than death to stop me, for I am Zombie Krungus. Big Krungus. Big Krungus. Big Krungus.
Once he'd finished his weird war cry, he attacked me, and we started battling once again. He was strong, probably even stronger than the last time we fought, but I'd gotten stronger too. I dashed him with my sword and blasted fireball after fireball at him, slowly watching his evil zombie powers drain away. With one more decisive blast, he'd been destroyed once and for all. Can't believe I've defeated that guy twice. It's gotta be really embarrassing to be Krungus right now. As I continued my search, I found a chest in a desolate old hallway that contained some awesome diamond armor that I immediately equipped. Wow, Mozzie should really be a lot more careful about what he just leaves around. From day 75 to day 78, I heard a familiar voice yelling in the distance.
Hey, I'm yelping here!
That sounds like Sal! I ran deeper in until I found Sal trapped inside a distant cage in the deep dark bowels of Mozzie's base.
Zozo, buddy, you came to save me!
Shh, be careful! I need to break you out of here before Mozzie notices. I used my diamond pickaxe to break down the cage and free Sal. I told him to run back as quickly as he could and not stop for any reason, so he did. That's when I could sense something rising behind me and turned to see Mozzie floating there behind me.
Ha! I knew live bait would work. Time to drink me some Mario.
Drink this, Mozzie! I blasted a fireball at his face, and while he was distracted, I ran for it, all the way out of his lair. From day 79 to day 84, alone in his evil lair, Mozzie the mosquito was evolving.
What that doofazoid Zozo doesn't know is that all this time, I've only just been a mosquito nymph. I can get so much stronger, so much more dangerous. All this time, I've been holding back. But my dad gave me this golden apple. Now, I can finally be me!
Mozzie Mosborn ate the golden apple and began to grow, getting bigger, stronger, and more dangerous than ever. He could drain an unlucky victim in a single slurp.
You're mine, Zozo. I'ma get you, and I'ma drink you up.
He was silent for a second after that.
Man, it would have been so much cooler if Zozo was here to hear that.
From day 85 to day 89, I returned back to my base with my bestest bud in the whole wide world, Sal the Spider Llama.
Zozo, you're the best! You saved me back there. I'm never, ever gonna forget what you did for me. I was worried that I'd never be found again, trapped in the depths of that nasty mosquito's lair.
Don't even talk like that, Sal. Of course I'd come and save you. I'd never even think about abandoning you in a place like that. You're my best friend.
And hey, me being trapped in there wasn't totally wasted time. While I was bored and trapped in there, I decided to work on a new recipe for an extra spicy pizza sauce. But in the process, I accidentally created a fire aspect enchantment that you can apply to your diamond sword. I also found this mysterious note in my prison cell.
Oh, that's perfect. It's like the discovery of penicillin, but way more useful to me personally. Also, I'll check this note out later. Let me apply the enchantment first. I applied the fire aspect enchantment to my sword, massively increasing its deadly firepower, just like me, Mario, Zozo. Just like me, Fire Mario Zozo! Sal, you're the best pal!
Oh, stop it, man! You're gonna make me cry!
From day 90 to day 94, I traveled to the mini base of the Ender Creeper out in the flowering ancient forest, curious about who could have left that mysterious note. When I arrived, I was shocked to see one of the creeper spiderlings waiting for me. Oh no, I suppose you lured me out here to fight on behalf of your boss, right?
You may think so, but no. You really changed our whole outlet when you taught us about all the differences between insects and arachnids. We're going our own way now, pursuing our own dreams. And we have you to thank for that, seeing as you opened our eyes.
Oh, well, I'm actually really glad to hear that. Was there any reason you brought me out here, or just to thank me?
We mainly just wanted to thank you, but as a token of our thanks, I snuck out this potion of power for one of the boss's secret chests. Here, have it. Save it for the right moment.
He passed me the potion of power, and I immediately added it to my inventory. I think this is gonna come in real handy when I finally battle your former boss for the last time. Thank you for your kindness, Creeper Spiderling, and good luck with the rest of your lives.
And good luck to you too, Zozo. No offense, but you're probably gonna need it.
From day 95 to day 97, while sitting around at my base, training for my final battle with Mozzie, I got an unexpected guest, Walter the Wind Serpent. Hey, Walter! How are you and Walter?
I'm doing well, and so is Walter. Thank you for asking. Walter and I have actually been working on something for you. A set of netherite armor to supplement your wardrobe. While you're wearing this, it's gonna be really hard for that nasty sucker to suck your blood.
He gave me the netherite armor pieces, and I immediately equipped them. They were durable, but not too heavy. These will be the perfect armor to take into the final battle. Thank you, Walter. And please, thank Walter for me when you see him again.
Will do, Zozo. Good luck on your battle. Walter and I will be rooting for you.
On day 98, I left the glowing ancient forest once and for all, ready to take on Mozzie Mossborn and show him that when you mess with Fire Mario Zozo, you get burned. But I'm not just Fire Mario. I can be anyone you want me to be. And who would you like me to be next? Let me know down in the comments. I love reading them all. After walking for half a day, I finally got to a working end portal I went through last time. A straight shot to the ethereal island where Mozzie and his gross, nasty friends hung out. Now or never, as the great man himself said, let's go! And so, I hopped right in. On day 99, I went straight back to Mozzie's base. Now that I knew my way around, it was a lot easier to make my way straight to his inner sanctum. He was hovering right over a dug-out pool of water, where more little mosquito larvae were probably growing.
Zozo, who said you could come in here, man? This is my private space, my mosey bro pad. I feel like violated and junk. I thought we were friends.
We're not friends at all. We're literally arch enemies.
Oh yeah, duh. Sorry, that slipped my mind. So, I guess you're here to fight until one of us is just a pile of XP?
Yeah, that was the plan. How about we get on with it? Your buzzing is really starting to get on my nerves. I took my potion of power and leveled up, becoming the final Fire Mario. Bigger, stronger, and the most Italian I've ever been. With 100 hearts and my final new ability, Dragon Fireball Attack. Time to fry this freaky fly. Mosey and I flew into battle. Well, he flew. I used my super boots to jump. Mozzie was tough, but this time I had the power to back myself up. First, I slashed at him with my awesome fire aspect sword, throwing him off with my speed and strength. But I was just getting started. Dragon Fireball after Dragon Fireball bombarded the diabolical mosquito, blasting and burning through every single one of his defenses. In the end, I came out on top, blasting every last one of the monstrous mosquito's hearts away. In the end, Mozzie was gone, and only I remained. Finally, sweet, sweet silence. Mamma mia! On day 100, with Mozzie Mosborn finally and deservedly swatted, I left the ethereal islands and returned to my base in the glowing ancient forest. Sal the Spider Llama, my oldest friend, was so happy to see me.
Hey, Zozo, my good fella. You did it. I couldn't be more proud of you. Sal's gonna cook up a big spicy pizza just for you. I also managed to finish the statue while you were gone. Check it out.
You're the best of them, Sal. A giant mushroom. I love it. Sal left to go and make the pizza when Walter the Wind Serpent slithered over.
You did it, Zozo! What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man! Other Walter would be here too, but he's at work. You're a winner, Zozo. Anything you want to say?
Only one word, Walter. Woohoo! On day 1, I spawned into the Amaranth Field as a blinged out diamond monkey. Ooh, I'm so shiny, even if I am a little baby monkey. I hopped around and started exploring the fields. It was so cool and colorful. It seemed like this was going to be a really fun adventure. Until a huge, terrifying creeper spider broodmother started crawling towards me. I'd never seen anything like it. Oh my goodness, you're certainly interesting.
I don't think you're being sincere. You don't think I'm interesting at all, do you? You actually think I'm strange and frightening.
What? No, you're putting words in my mouth.
Well, unlucky for you, I am strange and frightening. And so are my many children.
You have children?
Yes, so many. And within 100 days, we will rule the world, and every other creature will be destroyed. Starting with you, you glittering little monkey.
Creeper Spider Broodmother fired a powerful exploding fireball at me that blew up the ground near my feet. I was nowhere near powerful enough to fight back. All I could do was run away as fast as I could. That Broodmother didn't seem nice. I don't want it and it's young to rule over the world, so I better find a way to stop it before it gets out of hand. On day 2, I began to explore more of the Amaranth Fields, taking in the sights and trying my best to learn my way around this interesting, beautiful biome. Hopefully, without running into any more trouble from the Broodmother creepy spider or her creepy crawly kids. While I was roaming around, I checked and noticed I had 10 hearts. Not tons of health, so I'd have to be careful not to take too much damage. Lucky for me, I found some apples growing on a tree. Out of reach for ordinary chumps walking around on 2 legs, but with my diamond monkey agility, I was able to climb up into the branches and grab that sweet fruit. Suddenly, while I was enjoying my apples up in the tree, I heard a telltale hissing coming from below. I peered out and was met with the sight of a creeper down below.
There you are. The Broodmother said there was a lost little diamond monkey out here all alone.
Go away, I don't want any trouble.
Then you never should have wandered up that tree. You're in the perfect spot for some exploding.
The creeper started getting ready to blow. I looked around, trying desperately to find an escape route, but there was no tree close enough for me to jump to. I tried to distance myself from the impending blast and braced myself for the loud boom, when all of a sudden, nothing happened. I looked back down, and someone had attacked the creeper, stopping it exploding at the last minute. A phantom fox.
You, come with me quickly. More will be on the way, so we have to get out of here.
Say no more. On day 3, the Phantom Fox led me through the Amaranth Fields after saving me. We walked quite a distance from where the creeper had found me before finally arriving at a campfire in a clearing.
We'll be safe here. Perhaps now we can be acquainted. I am Philo of the Phantom Fox clan.
Nice to meet you. My name's Zozo.
It's been a while since the Amaranth Fields have played host to a diamond creature. This can only be a good omen though. We will need all the help we can get to defeat the Broodmother.
Oh yeah, I had a run-in with her. Not a fan, I'll tell you that much. Philo and I were soon joined by another, a wise old wind serpent. He explained more about what was going on.
The creatures of the Amaranth Fields used to live in perfect harmony,
But the brood mother sought to disrupt all of that and use her spiderlings to control the entire world. We must unite and stop her.
Well, I'm no parenting expert, but I don't think she should be making her kids take over the world with her. I'll do what I can.
Then welcome to our resistance, Zozo. You are one of us. Philo will guide you. There is much to be done.
From day 4 to day 5, Philo and I went off together to search for an ideal location to set up shop. We'd need a base, a place to call home, if we were going to reunite the creatures of the fields and put a stop to the broodmother's schemes. So I knocked down some trees and gathered up some wood. I had enough to craft a wooden pickaxe, and then we went off looking for something stronger, stone. Before long, I had gathered up enough stone to make a full set of stone tools. There was even enough left over to make a snazzy stone sword. Now, I could defend myself if any more mean mobs showed up. Turned out, that was just about to happen. It was while I was building the first few rooms of our base that an icy creeper snuck up on me. It must have just come across us by chance, but it startled me. I panicked and wildly swung my sword, taking the icy creeper down, but looking a little clumsy when I did. Afterwards, Philo came over to talk.
Not exactly elegant, are you? Here, if you're going to swing that thing around, let me show you the proper technique.
That would be amazing. But first, I'm hungry. Do you have anything I could eat?
Oh, fine. Here are some apples. Now, follow me.
Philo imparted some Phantom Fox wisdom to me and taught me how to fight. I could feel myself getting stronger. I now had 30 whole hearts. Philo even taught me a brand new power too, a freezing ice blast. Ice powers. It makes sense, seeing as I'm so iced out. From day 6 to day 8, Philo sent me off to the Cherry Blossom Forest to gather resources. We needed some wood for the roof of our base, and there were far more trees here than the Amaranth Fields. Plus, he said I'd need to learn my way around the world if I was going to help the other creatures stop the broodmother. But while I was on my travels, chopping down trees and minding my own business, I noticed someone in a spot of trouble nearby. A stranger looked like they were being attacked by a basalt snake.
Away with you, beast! Unless you want me to rock the house down!
The stranger must have been a geomancer. Who else would make such an awkward rock pun? As he ran away, I drew my stone sword and decided to help out. This was it, my first taste of combat. I attacked the basalt snake. It was a slippery enemy, dodging out of the path of my swings and then lunging towards me when it found an opening. I was barely able to leap out of the way in time, saved at the last second by my monkey agility. At last, I saw an opening and took my chance, landing the winning strike.
Not bad getting there, lad. You're clearly not one of the broodmother's lackeys. Tell you what, you fancy giving me a hand, taking care of some of that creepy spider's creepy spawn?
Sounds good to me. That ought to slow her down. From day 9 to day 10, I went with the geomancer deeper into the Cherry Blossom Forest, looking for a nest where some of the creeper spider broodmother's children were hiding, waiting for the command to take over. We were trying to sneak up undetected, but suddenly we were ambushed by one of the creeper spiderlings. It was way smaller than the broodmother, but it was still creepy.
Mama said you can't be here. I'm gonna tell on you.
I fought as hard as I could, but the creeper spiderling was far too tough. Every time I tried to corner it, it would scuttle out of reach. I had no choice but to retreat. I was a little disheartened. If I couldn't take on one of the broodmother's offspring, what chance did I stand against her?
Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Life, as I've experienced, it's a rocky road. Don't you give up now.
Gee, thanks. You need a place to stay? Come back to my base. From day 11 to day 12, the geomancer and I made our way back to the base in the Amaranth Fields. Straight away, I got to making a storage room with plenty of space for all the resources I gathered. I then went on to work on the geomancer's room. I added a floor to my base, which gave him plenty of space to practice rocking out if he needed to.
Well, this is all just too kind, Zozo. I've got no coin nor any token to give you as thanks, lad. But here, let me use my powers to really rock this joint.
The geomancer really was stone cold brilliant. He built an entire smelting place outside and a new storage room just to say thanks for letting him stay. This was amazing. It really helped improve the base. Thanks to him, things were really coming along. We even got to talking about the broodmother and why she was so set on taking over the world.
I've been studying the fauna of this place for quite some time. It really is fascinating. All the creatures here are bestowed with great power. The broodmother has the power of dominance, the will to take control of everything. But what's interesting is there is a creature made to be the embodiment of good and selflessness. A diamond monkey.
Wow, so you're saying I might be able to defeat her?
Zozo, lad. I'd say you've got a better chance than anyone.
Later, I paid a visit to a nearby mine and dug up some iron ore. Now I could put that brand new furnace to good use. I turned the ore into some iron ingots, then smelted those with iron replacements for my sword and pickaxe. While I was gone, the geomancer placed down some fences to make a sheep pen. I lured some sheep in to make a farm. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke to Philo about what I could do to get stronger. He suggested that I should head off on a small journey to do some hands-on training. You're sure about this?
Of course, you're a diamond monkey, and that means you're the living embodiment of all good. And being good means banishing evil, so go do some banishing.
I headed back to the cherry blossom forest, although I wasn't exactly sure how I was meant to banish evil. That seemed like more of an ongoing life goal than a simple training exercise. I didn't get too much time to think about it though, before I was confronted by another angry creeper. Hey, my twin brother was sent to catch a diamond monkey like you for our master, the Broodmother, and he never made it back. Yeah, my Phantom Fox friend sort of destroyed him. He did what? Oh, you're so gonna pay. The creeper came at me. I leaped back to a safe distance in case it exploded. I used my diamond monkey reflexes to stay out of range of the creeper's explosive radius, then hopped in close when it was safe to deal some damage with my iron sword. Finally, I was able to finish him off. But that wasn't all. The defeated creeper dropped a health potion, which gave me a whole 60 hearts when I drank it. The whole encounter had given me the experience to teach myself a brand new move too, the knockback punch. From day 16 to day 19, I ventured out further and came across the deep canyons stretching as far as the eye could see. I had to be careful traveling the higher ground. One wrong step, and I'd have a really nasty fall. But it was while traversing my way down to the lower depths of the canyons that I happened to stumble across something pretty unexpected. It was an old journal that somebody must have dropped. I picked it up and took a look, reading some of what was written inside. It started happening much sooner than we thought. The bad needs good to counter it. It can grow and grow. That's why the Broodmother is getting stronger. We need balance, otherwise her evil power will grow until it cannot be contained. It will sweep across the world under the many legs of her and her spawn, unless we can find someone who as good as she is bad. Suddenly, while I was reading, I heard a familiar hissing drawing near and turned to see a group of creepers behind me. There he is, boys! That's the diamond monkey who took out Jim! Oh, and that the Broodmother wants us to destroy too, I guess. Jim was old school, one of the good ones, man. Jim? That other creeper? Yeah, our twin! Why are so many of you twins? Well, that's a funny story, actually. You see, all creepers, get 'em, boys! The creepers attacked, but I was feeling confident. After all, I'd only just taken down one of them and gotten stronger as a result. So swinging my sword the way Philo had taught me, I made quick work of dispatching this new group of creepers. From day 20 to day 22, I made the long journey back to the Amaranth Fields. I hadn't returned to base in a few days, so I thought it was about time for a rest and a resupply. Once I was back at my base, I headed back to the mines, gathering up some more iron ore from a vein deep underground. That ore I then turned into iron ingots, which I used then to create a brand new iron chestplate. With all these new hearts, new powerful attacks, and now some added protection against damage, I was feeling ready to go back and face the creeper spiderling from earlier. I crept through the cherry blossom forest, making sure to keep to the treetops and using my diamond monkey agility to my advantage. I came across the spiderling, and when I was ready, leapt down from the treetops to attack. My ambush worked, catching the creeper spiderling off guard. Startled, it panicked, and I was able to use my knockback attack to blast it off its feet. Then, using my iron sword, I finished it off. I had beaten the spiderling! But all the commotion had attracted some unwanted attention from someone I didn't realize was nearby, the Broodmother!
Heh, you think that's all it'll take to stop me? Destroy my spiderlings! I don't even care! Even if you're able to kill just one, there will be two more ready to take its place!
Look, you're only this powerful because there was no one good enough to cancel out your bad. But I'm around now, and a diamond monkey is the embodiment of goodness. So why don't we call this a stalemate? You and your creepy kids can call off this world domination plan. Just leave everyone alone, and we'll leave you alone.
Oh, but I'm not interested in there being balance. I don't need there to be good. Once my children and I have covered the world, then all that exists, all that is good or bad will be for me to decide. And you won't be around to stop me!
The broodmother launched one of her explosive fireballs at me. I thought about fighting back, but instead, I snuck off once she'd lost sight of me. I wasn't strong enough yet, and I could hear the geomancer's lesson in my head. Gotta remember, it's a rocky road. Could really go for some ice cream right about now. From day 23 to day 26, I made my way back to my base. Even though it had taken me a while to get back to it, I had taken down the spiderling that the geomancer had asked me to help defeat. I thought he'd want to hear the good news.
That's my boy! I'm proud of you, lad!
Since my chestplate had come in handy protecting me against the spiderling, I decided I needed to complete my set of armor. So I headed back to the mines, gathering up some iron ore from the vein. Once it had been made into ingots, and those had been smelted, I had a snazzy pair of iron boots, pants, and a helmet to match my chestplate. I even had enough iron left over to make the rest of the iron tools.
Ah, Zozo! I see you've learned the value of a good defense. You could say I had the same idea. Ta-da!
The geomancer had been back at it again, making upgrades to my base. This time, he'd constructed a roof on the house and a perimeter wall around the main base to protect the structure against attacks, just like a suit of armor. Great minds really did think alike. From day 27 to day 31, I decided I would head back through the canyons. After discovering the book I had found there, I was wondering if there was any more useful information waiting to be uncovered nearby. I didn't come across any more dropped journals, but I did meet a friendly leopard.
My name is Lorne. Delightful to meet the one who cleared out some of those pesky creepers. But be on your guard, my friend. There are more out here, and far worse monstrous creatures have aligned themselves with the wretched broodmother.
Thanks for the warning, Lorne. If it's not safe out here, then you should head back to my base.
Many thanks to you. I never thought I'd be lucky enough to witness a diamond monkey's selflessness again.
Searching around, I didn't find much else of interest, so I headed back to base not long after. Once there, I harvested some sheep's wool from the farm and used it to make some decorative banners that really livened the place up. But my excitement was short-lived, as Philo ran up to me in a blind panic.
Zozo, come quickly! Our friend is in need of your help!
From day 32 to day 35, I rushed after Philo back towards the campfire area. The wind serpent was under attack! There was no time to lose. He had set me on my path, and now I needed to help him. When we arrived, there were creepers coming from all directions. I had never seen so many in one place before. The hissing and rustling they all made was deafening. I climbed a tree, trying to get closer to the wind serpent in order to save him. I could see him fighting back against the creepers, but while his back was turned, one behind him started smoking. Look out! Boom! The creeper set off an explosive chain reaction, causing a bunch of others around it to also explode. By the time the smoke had cleared, only a few were left, but the wind serpent had been caught in the blast. No! I leaped down from the tree and attacked the remaining creepers. I finished off what was left of them, but it was far too late to save my friend. From day 36 to day 39, I tried to take my mind off of what had happened. I decided I'd go somewhere quiet to be alone with my thoughts and ended up wandering into the aspen forest. While I was there, thinking about the poor wind serpent, someone came up to me. It was a green manticore.
Excuse me, I couldn't help notice the glimmer of a diamond monkey. Aren't you meant to be the embodiment of goodness?
Yeah, I suppose, although I'm not feeling too good right now.
Well, sorry to bother you, but I just wanted to ask for your help.
The manticore showed me to the source of his troubles, a horrifying undead scorpion. I pulled out my sword and rushed into battle. The undead scorpion was vicious, swiping at me with its tails as I tried my best to defend. With a blast of my knockback attack, followed up with a combo of an ice blast, I was able to defeat the monstrous creature.
Oh, thank you so much. That thing was so menacing.
The green manticore explained that some creatures believed the power of the broodmother's bat was still getting stronger, so much that it was raising creepy creatures from beyond the grave. I had to stop this! From day 40 to day 43, I headed back to base to recollect myself and see if my friends had any more advice on how I could get strong enough to stop the broodmother. Much to my surprise, they had been working on improving the place while I had been gone. Philo had even made some nice new bookshelves and couches and came to me with a special request.
Zozo, with all this extra space, I think my friends from the Phantom Fox clan would feel very at home here. What do you think?
Philo, if they're anything like you, then we'd be lucky to have them here. With that, Philo let out a loud screeching call into the air to draw in his fellow phantom foxes. Before long, even more of them had started slinking out from the amaranth fields, and I welcomed them to their new home. Then, a familiar feline face showed up. It was Lorne the leopard. Glad you made it.
Greetings, friend. Forgive me, but I am in need of your help. On my way, I was attacked by another ogre, a ghastly thing that has allied itself with the broodmother. Her badness has attracted all manner of otherworldly beasts.
Say no more, Lorne. You rest up here and heal. I'll take care of that nether ogre. From day 44 to day 49, I started to search for the nether ogre that had harmed my poor leopard friend Lorne. I decided the best place to start looking would be the canyons, since that's where I had last seen Lorne. If there was no sign, then I'd just retrace her steps heading back towards the base. I thought maybe I'd have some luck finding the nether ogre when I felt the ground start to shake. But where I was expecting to see the ogre emerge from, instead, I saw a monster I didn't want to find. It was the broodmother!
Ah, there you are! I've been looking all over for you.
Get back! How did you even find me?
Oh dear, the oh-so-goody-goody diamond monkey doesn't know.
Wait, you managed to find me in the aspen forest too. How do you always know where I am?
You should really pay more attention. My spiderlings are everywhere. They're very good at hiding, and they tell me everything they see.
You're spying on me? Why?
Well, I can't have you finding my nest, can I? And you're completely oblivious to where it is. Let's keep it that way.
Something snuck up from behind me. The legendary silver skeleton! The broodmother tricked me into an ambush. The mighty silver skeleton took up its weapon and came at me, and I had no choice but to fight back. From day 50 to day 53, I crossed swords with the silver skeleton. I tried my best to spot where the broodmother had got to, but she had scuttled back to the shadows, leaving her undead minion to finish me off. I did my best to parry each of his moves and tried to take a swing at him when I could. But then, I had a thought. If the broodmother's spiderlings were really watching me, then why not make sure she knew exactly what I could do? I froze him to the spot, so he was stuck fast and couldn't move. One more strike with my blade, and he was defeated. I had done it, but frozen pieces weren't the only things that fell to the floor. Among the icy remains of the silver skeleton were some mystical diamonds. I reached out to grab them and instantly had a flashback. I could see another diamond monkey like me. He wandered the same places, met the same friendly creatures, but there was one difference. Back then, there was balance. I wondered what happened to him, where he had gone, and how it had caused good and bad to become uneven. Took those mystical diamonds with me. I had a great use for them in mind later on. From day 54 to day 57, now that the distraction of the silver skeleton was dealt with, I continued my search for the nether ogre. When I ventured further into the canyons than I'd gotten before, it didn't take me long to track him down. There was no time for chit-chat with this monster. He came right at me, ready to attack. I guess the mobs that the broodmother was teaming up with weren't all the brightest bunch, but they were some of the baddest. The ogre was big and strong. Its heavy fists were like huge boulders. I had to remember to use my smaller size and stature to my advantage, keeping out of the way. But without any tall trees nearby, I couldn't leap up to safety. Eventually though, the nether ogre's angry swings and the frustration at not being able to catch me soon got the better of him. He started to get tired, slowing down. And once he was almost worn out, bam! My kickback punch knocked him right off the mountain. With the nether ogre defeated, I headed back to my base in the amaranth fields to tell Lorne the good news.
Why, thank you, friend. I'll sleep a little easier knowing that brood is gone.
Say, Lorne, did you ever meet another diamond monkey before me?
Of course. He was as kind and selfless as you, Zozo, but also wise and noble. Nobody knows where he went. Perhaps his time was up, but once he was gone, much of his goodness left with him, apart from that which he passed on to others. That's what's allowed the broodmother to gain such power. There was an absence of good in the world, so she filled it with bad.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to do some work on the base. After all, with the whole Phantom Fox clan here, the place needed some improvements. I expanded the pen that was holding the sheep, making more room so that more of them could fit in. More sheep meant more wool. Then, I had to get working on my idea to use the mystical diamonds I'd picked up from the silver skeleton. Problem was, I didn't have enough to actually make anything. Maybe I could find some normal diamonds to make up for it. Sure enough, I headed down into the mines and found just what I was looking for. Diamonds, and plenty of them. I started chipping them out of the stone wall, and before long, I had enough for my plan. I used the diamonds, both the normal kind and the mystical ones, to craft myself a brand new diamond sword and a pickaxe to match. Now I could dish out a lot more damage.
Zozo, come take some time to relax, sit with us a while, and see the good you're putting back into the world.
Philo invited me to come and hang out with him and the rest of his Phantom Fox friends. They'd really made the base into a more homely place, with a roaring fireplace and a nice living area where we all sat and chilled for a while. Philo also mentioned that they built a small cottage home for themselves and connected all the buildings with a nice path. The base was really coming together. From day 63 to day 66, I was finishing up a few minor improvements on my base when the Geomancer came to me with a new lead on what our next move should be.
I've been feeling a rumbling, lad. Tremors in the ground. The stones, they speak to me, rocking my very soul.
Okay, and what's the sound of the underground saying?
It might be telling me where the Broodmother's lair is. There's a lot of movement in the cypress swamplands. It is a vile, putrid place.
No wonder the Broodmother feels so at home there. I'll check it out. I headed off to the location the Geomancer pointed out. He was right about one thing, the place was gross. I had a weird feeling while I was there, almost as if I was being watched, and not just by the Broodmother spiderlings. Suddenly, I got startled by a warped phantom. I got ready for a fight, thinking that this was another undead being that the Broodmother had raised. But to my surprise, he was actually friendly.
Oh, thank the heavens, a diamond monkey. Goodness will be restored, and then I can rest again. That foul creeper spider Broodmother dragged me out from my eternal slumber, but I was at peace.
I'll do what I can. Hey, maybe there's some way to get you back to wherever you were before.
If you could, that'd be wonderful.
From day 67 to day 70, I traveled across the cypress swamplands with the warped phantom, and we soon came across the source of the trouble. One of the Broodmother's minions, a wither spider, had disrupted the phantom's tomb, and it was stopping his spirit from resting. So I leapt into action to give the ghost a hand. I wasn't anticipating such a tough fight, but even with my new mystical diamond sword, the wither spider was standing strong. I made a split-second decision to hit it with an ice blast attack, then strike it again with my mystical diamond sword, finally getting rid of it for good.
Oh, thank you very much. Back to peace I go.
From day 71 to day 74, I continued searching around the cypress swamplands, as creepy and stinky as it was. I was told that the creeper spider Broodmother was lurking around here, so I can't give up until I've gathered some valuable intel. I climbed up to the tree canopy and walked until I saw something. Oh, a diamond gorilla! That reminds me, you should search Zozo on YouTube to find tons of awesome Minecraft 100 Days adventures. But things were about to get even more interesting because the creeper spider Broodmother herself crawled out of the darkness towards me.
Welcome, Zozo, you silly little monkey. If I knew you were coming, I would have made tea. Instead, I'm going to make a fool of you.
Look, I don't necessarily think we need to fight. It's all about finding the balance between good and evil. We can find that without needing to fight each other.
You want balance, I want domination. And I know exactly how to get it. I've created so many creepers and so many creeper spiderlings. And in the end, if I have enough, them all blowing up at once would destroy the entire overworld. So everyone needs to do what I say, or that's exactly what will happen.
That's diabolical!
It's effective! You could learn a thing or two from me. Now run, little monkey, run!
The creeper spider Broodmother fired another exploding fireball, and I ran for my life! From day 75 to day 78, I was sitting around my base, confused and afraid. Just couldn't stop thinking about what the creeper spider Broodmother had said to me. Would she really blow up the entire overworld to get what she wants? That's a level of evil I've never even seen before, and I'm not sure any good would ever balance that out. But I was able to calm down with the help of a distraction, a visit from Lorne the Leopard.
Zozo, take a look outside. I made a cool watchtower on the base, so we can keep an eye out for any approaching creepers. We'll be extra safe now.
I took a look outside and saw that Lorne had done an amazing job on the watchtower. Seeing it made me forget about my doubts for a bit. And then, something even cooler happened when Philo the Phantom Fox approached me.
Zozo, I've been discussing with the rest of the Phantom Fox clan, and we've decided to give you one of our most treasured family antiques to use in your fight against the creeper threat. The magical enchanted guitar.
Wow, this is amazing! He passed me the guitar, and the second I equipped it and started to play a sick tune, I found my power growing. I reached 100 hearts, became bigger, stronger, and now had a new special ability, firing a powerful green laser. I'd hate to be the creeper spider broodmother now. From day 79 to day 84, I went back out to the Cypress Swamplands again with my newfound power and confidence, ready to take on the creeper spider broodmother for round 2. Couldn't see her anywhere. Instead, I was attacked by a nasty gang of whisperers, which I was able to pretty easily cut down with my awesome guitar. I can see why the Phantom Fox clan cared about this so much. I heard rustling in the bushes and turned to see a rabbit wolf hopping towards me.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome. But for what?
Those whisperers have been a pain in my butt forever, and you finally took care of them. Here, and a spare diamond helmet. It didn't fit me anyway.
Oh wow, thank you! I'm better guarded now than ever before! From day 85 to day 89, I returned to my base, eager to show my friends my new shiny diamond helmet, when I saw a little gang of creepers crawling into my base, closing in on an innocent big axolotl. Oh no, I need to run them off! I fired ice blasts and swung my sword until the creepers were gone. Thankfully, none of them exploded near any of the structures on my base, but that didn't mean I could let them get away. But during the fight, I also saw that a creeper was running towards the innocent big axolotl. I couldn't let that happen. I ran over and destroyed the creeper immediately, even while the others ran away. But the big axolotl was extremely grateful for the help.
Thank you, Zozo. I owe you my life.
Stay safe out there, big axolotl! From day 90 to day 94, I traced back the way from where the creepers came, and it led me to the Cypress Swamplands. I reached an area that looked like some kind of nest, where I can only imagine the creeper spider broodmother was waiting inside. But what was even more worrying was the thing waiting on the bridge to the base. A massive, heavily armed Vindicator. You're not a creeper or undead. What are you doing here?
I'm working for the Big Mama, and she wants me to show you that diamonds aren't forever.
But why would you want to work for her? She and her creepers want to rule the world.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna, so I want to fight for the winning team. So that's enough talking. Let's destroy each other.
And with that, the battle began! From day 95 to day 97, I fought the Vindicator who worked for the creeper spider broodmother. He was one of the most skilled opponents I'd ever faced, and he was dealing a lot of damage against me. But I managed to fight back. Little by little, I turned the tide until the Vindicator was on the ropes, and eventually, he gave up.
Please, I yield. Have mercy.
I'll let you go, but first, tell me something I don't know about your boss. Tell me something that'll help me win this battle for good.
Okay. Well, you don't need to worry about taking out the little creepers. Just focus on taking out the broodmother. She's got like a hive mind. You take out her, all the creepers go with her.
And with that, the Vindicator ran off, never to be seen again. So I just need to defeat the broodmother to defeat the whole army? Now I know for sure what I need to do. On day 98, as I prepared to return to the Cypress Swamplands to take on and defeat the creeper spider broodmother once and for all, I decided to speak to each one of my basemates one-on-one. First, I spoke to Lorne the Leopard.
I believe in you, Zozo. You're living up to the legacy of the Diamond Monkey. Once you're done, the forces of good and evil will be balanced once more.
Next, I went and spoke to Philo the Phantom Fox.
The safety of our clan owes much to you, Zozo. It's been an honor to work with you. I look forward to celebrating with you once you've defeated the evil.
And finally, I spoke to the Geomancer.
You're gonna squish that nasty spider like a big old newspaper, Zozo. Rock on, man, rock on! You're stone cold!
And with all those words of encouragement, I was ready to go. On day 99, I made my way back to the freaky, stinky Cypress Swamplands. I'd conserved all my energy, ready to unleash it in one big, awesome final battle with the creeper spider broodmother. I know the truth now. If I can defeat her, then I'll defeat her entire creeper army. But there was one problem in the way. The creeper army I was just talking about, all surrounding and guarding the creeper nest. There was no way I could fight them all alone, and if I did, it might leave me weak and tired to take on the mean green mother herself. That's when, in my moment of need, the warped phantom whose spirit I'd helped lay to rest came running towards me. He was here to repay my good deed.
Zozo, go forth and destroy the evil that has plagued this land for so long. I'll distract her awful spawn. You get in there and save the world.
I will, Warped Phantom. Thank you. As the creepers swarmed the Phantom, I snuck up the stairs and into the well that the broodmother repurposed into its own nest. On day 100, I crawled down into the depths of the nest where I could take on the creeper spider broodmother alone. She was waiting for me, and she wasn't happy to see me.
You're not meant to be here, Diamond Monkey. This is my domain.
Soon, nowhere is going to be your domain. I wanted to coexist with you. I wanted there to be balance, but you left me no choice. All we can do is fight.
Then why even waste time talking? Allow me to destroy you, so me and my creepers can finally claim the world that is rightfully ours!
And so, the battle began! With my sick guitar, I began fighting the creeper spider broodmother as she shot her exploding fireballs at me. The battle was hard. She was the toughest enemy I'd ever faced. But I still had one more power to use against her. I knocked her towards the exit, and that scared her off. She prepared a surprise attack as I exited the room, but I was undeterred. She started to escape, but I summoned all my energy into one attack. My ultimate green laser! With that one last attack, the creeper spider broodmother died, taking all of her creeper army with her, and the forces of good and evil were balanced across the land once more. On day 1, I spawned into the middle of the Black Forest as HEROBRINE, Minecraft's spookiest phantom. Well, a baby version of HEROBRINE anyway. But why am I here? I was on some kind of altar with a sinister robed figure standing and staring at me.
Yes, my plan worked. This is the growing sign that my powers are growing.
Plan? Powers? Who are you? And what's going on here?
You don't know the name of your master, boy. I am Dorian, the drowned necromancer, master of the undead. And you are my servant.
Servant? I didn't sign up for that. I don't even want to be a ghost. I want to have a body.
What you want doesn't matter. Without me, you wouldn't exist. And unless I choose to give you a body in the next 100 days, your spirit will fade away into nothingness. Bow to me, boy.
Never! And my name is Zozo. With all my might, I jumped out of the altar and ran off into the forest as fast as I could. I didn't want anything to do with Dorian, the drowned necromancer, and his plan to get more power. I need to work on my plan, getting my body back. When I was convinced that I'd lost Dorian, I hid under a tree for the rest of the day. As a restless spirit, I couldn't even get any rest. Being HEROBRINE sure isn't easy. On day 2, I decided to further explore the Black Forest. It was dark and spooky, the exact kind of place that a scary spirit like me would be summoned. If I wasn't a ghost myself, I'd be afraid of running into a ghost around here. And, oh geez, I only have 5 hearts. I thought ghosts were meant to be more durable than this. But I didn't have time to wallow in self-pity for long, because a gang of frightening dreadliches emerged out of the trees. Why is everyone around here so eerie?
We serve our glorious master, Dorian, the drowned necromancer. He gave us new life, so we owe everything to him.
Oh, that's just my luck! And I guess you want to kidnap me and take me back to him for his sinister plans?
We didn't expect you to already know this. I guess it saves us some explanation time at least. In the name of Dorian, we commandeer your soul!
The Dreadliches punched me. With no weapons and very low health, I didn't have any hope of fighting back against them. Instead, I turned around and ran as quickly as I could. My soul, my rules! The Black Forest seemed dark and infinite, so at least it wasn't difficult to lose those nasty liches. The downside was that I'd gotten lost myself, and as I wandered through the forest, getting more and more creeped out, I ran into a siren!
Oh, another ghost! How exciting!
Wait, you can see me?
Of course I can see you. I'm a psychic. Sarah the Psychic Siren, General Services. Pleased to meet you.
So, you're not going to try to steal my soul like everyone else I've met?
Steal your soul? Heck no! I'm a huge supporter of spirits' rights. Come with me, my new ghost friend. I'll introduce you to my boss.
Finally, having met someone nice, I followed Sarah the Psychic Siren through the trees. On day 3, Sarah led me through the forest until we came upon a small cottage. A sign outside read, "Psychic Services for all ghosts." Wow, I had no idea this kind of place existed, Sarah.
There are more ghosts in this forest than you think. It's got to be someone's job to take care of them and help them along their way.
Suddenly, the front door opened and a geomancer stepped out.
Zozo, meet my boss, Jerry the Geomancer. Jerry, I found Zozo here wandering through the Black Forest like a restless spirit. He needs our help.
Is that a fact? It's nice to meet you, Zozo. Tell me, how did you find yourself in this difficult situation?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I was summoned and bound by this guy called Dorian, the drowned necromancer, and he told me that if I didn't serve him, I'd disappear in 100 days. It's got me pretty worried.
That's concerning. I've heard of many cases caused by this Dorian fellow, a truly dangerous customer. I'm gonna put Sarah on your case. She'll come and help you build a base and get situated. And together, we'll get your body back.
Thank you, Jerry and Sarah. I'm feeling better already.
Let's go, Zozo.
With the mission to get my body back decided on, Sarah and I journeyed further into the forest to get started. From day 4 to day 5, Sarah and I explored the Black Forest until we discovered an area with a nice, flat terrain. So, Sarah, what do you think we should do first?
I'd say cut down a few of these trees. That'll give you some of the wood you need to build a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe.
Great idea, Sarah! I cut down a tree and made a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. From there, I mined enough stone to also create a stone pickaxe, axe, and a stone sword. It's difficult to hold this stuff, being a ghost, but I'll try my best.
That's the spirit, Zozo.
I cleared enough space in the forest to start laying down a basic base, collecting some extra wood along the way. It started off with a pretty basic setup, with just a room for me and a room for Sarah.
Oh, this is a nice setup, Zozo. I guess living with you technically means we're living in a haunted house.
Yeah, I guess so. Say, this is probably a pointless question to ask, but is it possible for ghosts to eat? Because I'm getting really hungry right now.
You're in luck, Zozo. I have an enchanted apple that ghosts can eat in my inventory right now. Enjoy!
Sarah gave me the apple, and I ate it. Instantly, I felt my power starting to grow. I had 20 hearts now, and I developed a new ghost ability, warping from place to place.
This is fascinating, Zozo. I feel so lucky that I'm getting to see it.
From day 6 to day 8, I went wandering around the nearby Twilight Valley, looking for more rare enchanted food. As a ghost, my ghostly hunger was really difficult to satisfy, and Sarah didn't know how to enchant more food. It kinda sucks to be a ghost. I still have a lot of the downsides of being human, plus a bunch of new downsides. But while I was wandering around the valley, I heard some commotion and ran in to see what was happening. Maybe I can help someone. In the distance, I saw a Vindicator Chef, one of the most powerful types of chefs in the world, being attacked by a nasty gang of skeleton vanguards. A chef, huh? What a stroke of good luck. I used my new ghost power to warp over there and pulled out my stone sword. With all my focus and determination, I fought all of the skeleton vanguards until none remained. It was only me and the Vindicator Chef.
You saved my life, sir. I owe you a great debt. What is your name?
I'm Zozo.
Zozo, a strong name for a strong hero. I am Victor, Victor the Vindicator Chef. And if you do a favor for me, I will repay your kindness by any means necessary.
That sounds like a good deal. What kind of favor would you like me to do?
Follow me, and I'll show you.
I followed Victor the Vindicator Chef deeper into the Twilight Valley, excited to get him on my side. From day 9 to day 10, Victor took me to a clearing in the valley where a huge mutant skeleton was waiting. Oh geez, that thing is a monster! You want me to defeat a mutant skeleton?
I believe in you, Zozo. Seeing you take down all those skeleton vanguards makes me completely confident in your ability to slay this beast. Go forth!
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Victor. I steeled myself as best as I could and warped over to the mutant skeleton. It immediately started attacking me, and I started attacking it back. But my attacks were barely doing anything, and its attacks were taking way too many hearts off of me. I gotta get out of here. I warped away from the fight and ran back to Victor, telling him the disappointing news.
Oh, well, I'm sure you tried your best nonetheless. I suppose we'll go our separate ways.
No, hear me out. I could really use a Vindicator chef back at my base. You're the only type of chef who can cook the type of enchanted food I can eat. How about you stay at my base, and I promise I'll come back and defeat this mutant skeleton when I'm strong enough.
That sounds like a good deal to me. Lead the way, dear Zozo.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to the base with Victor the Vindicator chef. I know it isn't much, but it's home. I'm going to make you a room.
Thank you, Zozo. I'll get working on a little something of my own in the meantime.
I got to work gathering up new materials and started building a new little bungalow for the Vindicator chef to stay in while crashing at my base. What do you think, Victor?
This is a nice little room, Zozo. Thank you. And you can come and see what I made for you too. Go and check your room.
I walked over and saw that Victor had made a high-end kitchen in my base. Perfect for cooking up the kind of enchanted food I could eat. This is amazing, Victor. I'm getting hungry just looking at it.
But the kitchen is only one side of the equation, Zozo. I need some good quality ingredients. Perhaps we should build a farm on the base.
That's another excellent idea. I decided to build a little enclosure and went out into the Black Forest where I found a bunch of chickens. It wasn't hard to herd them back to my base. I can taste the eggs and fried chicken already. When I returned to my room to relax, I found that Sarah the Psychic Siren was waiting for me with some new information.
I did some research into Dorian the Drowned Necromancer, Zozo, and found some interesting information. He used to be a flesh and blood necromancer, terrorizing the overworld by raising the undead, until one day the people rose up and drowned him in the ocean. Somehow, Dorian returned, and he's been acting on his evil plans ever since.
Wow, this guy is really scary. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to Sarah once again and asked her what she thought I should do in order to get my body back.
Right now, Zozo, knowledge is power. The more we can find out, the more likely we'll be able to help you get your body back. Head out to the Twilight Valley and see what you can find out.
That's an excellent idea, Sarah. I journeyed out into the Twilight Valley, which reminded me of the time that I'd failed to defeat the mutant skeleton. Why is nothing ever easy around here? But my difficulties were only just getting started. One of the Dreadliches who worked for Dorian the Drowned Necromancer came from behind me, ready to fight me.
I serve my glorious master, Dorian the
Drowned Necromancer, yeah, I get it. Let's just fight.
Fine, but way to take all the fun out of this.
I battled the Dreadlich with all my might. He was a formidable opponent, but in the end, I defeated him all the same. And that gave me the XP I needed to level up again. I got bigger, stronger, rose up to 40 hearts, and gained a new offensive power, Lightning Strikes. Finally, some actually cool ghost powers. From day 16 to day 19, I found my way into the wooded Badlands, where I continued my search for any useful information that could help me defeat Dorian the Drowned Necromancer and get my body back. During the first couple days of my search through the Badlands, I didn't find anything, but on day 19, I happened upon a dusty, old book hidden out of the way. Yay, reading! I love that! But it wasn't just a fun reading experience that would engage my imagination, it was also a book that contained some critical information about Dorian the Drowned Necromancer. It read, like all cardinal undead, the Drowned Necromancer has a beard of ice. Therefore, he must spend most of his time in the freezing cold, and he has a severe weakness to fire. So that's two useful pieces of information. Dorian has a weakness to fire, and he must be hiding somewhere cold. I can't wait to tell Sarah about this. But my celebration was short-lived, as suddenly a couple of Dreadliches ambushed me, trying to get revenge for their friend I defeated back in the Twilight Valley. Thankfully this time, I had the power of ghostly lightning in my hands. I fired some lightning bolts at the Dreadliches until they were destroyed. I'm getting my body back no matter what. From day 20 to day 22, I continued through the wooded Badlands, feeling strong and confident about all the information I'd found recently. I ran into a nasty gang of hungry spiders and used my new lightning ability to zap them. These spiders are hardly a threat to me now. I decided that now was the perfect time to upgrade my gear, too. I searched until I found an underground cavern and looked around until I found some iron ore. I mined the ore and smelted it into some ingots, creating an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. Now I'm stronger than ever. Come to think of it, I have some unfinished business to take care of now. Remembering the debt I owed to Victor the Vindicator Chef, I returned to the Twilight Valley and hunted down that scary mutant skeleton I'd agreed to defeat. When I saw the mutant skeleton, I first unleashed a lightning strike, stunning it. Then I ran in and struck it again and again with my new iron sword until it was no more. A HEROBRINE always pays his debts. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to the base to let Victor, the Vindicator Chef, know that I had paid my debt to him by defeating the mutant skeleton.
I can see that you've gotten strong, just like you promised you would.
That's right, and I plan on becoming even stronger, Victor. They'll start calling me Victor too, because I won so many battles.
But that's my name, Zozo. Won't that get confusing?
True. I guess I'll just stick with Zozo. After my talk with Victor, I went to the underground cavern where I could mine for more iron. With my iron pickaxe, I was able to mine the iron ore in no time. In the same area, I found a treasure chest with a bunch of iron ingots that I could use to craft a full set of iron armor. I'm like a ghostly knight. I went back above and went to see Victor, the Vindicator Chef, again. He said he had some news to share with me.
Zozo, I've made an addition to the base that I think you might really enjoy.
He showed me a relaxation room that was perfect for ghosts like me. You did a really good job on this, Victor. We ghosts might not be able to rest in peace, but at least now we can relax about it.
It was no trouble at all, friend.
From day 27 to day 31, I was out exploring the same area of the wooded Badlands where I defeated the Dreadliches. I came across a farmer who was jumping for joy at the sight of me. That's not the usual reaction people have for HEROBRINE, so I went over to ask why he was in such a good mood. What's got you so happy, Mr. Farmer?
It's because of you, Zozo. Those Dreadliches were a real snake in my boot. But ever since you defeated them, I've had no worries.
Glad to hear it. Slaying evil monsters and improving lives is totally my thing.
Well, there is one small worry. When those Dreadliches were still around, one of them scared off all my sheep. I needed them for wool.
I'll help you out. You can even come live at my base if you'd like.
That sounds peachy keen, Zozo.
I led the farmer back to the base, then set off through the Black Forest to find some sheep so I could gather the wool that the farmer was looking for. Taming them was easy enough, and soon there was enough wool to go around. Afterwards, I decided to do some decorating. These HEROBRINE banners will show the mobs that this base is home to one mighty ghost. With the decorations done, I found Sarah the Psychic Siren waiting inside.
There you are, Zozo. You have to leave the base with me now. It's an emergency.
What's going on?
Come on, I'll explain when we get there.
From day 32 to day 35, I left the base with Sarah and traveled through the Black Forest. Along the way, we were ambushed by a small gang of Dreadliches. Boy, does this feel familiar.
I should have seen this coming. I am a psychic after all.
We serve our glorious master, Dorian the Drowned Necromancer.
They really do say it every time, don't they, Sarah?
They sure do.
Hey, don't diss our catchphrase, or we'll have to get mean. Well, meaner.
The Dreadliches began to attack, so I zapped them with my ghost lightning strikes. None of the Dreadliches I had fought before had seen that ability, so it took them by surprise, and I was able to quickly defeat them. We traveled on, and I soon noticed that Sarah and I had come to the place where Jerry the Geomancer had resided before. This time, it was completely destroyed, and the area was full of Dorian's Dreadliches. Hey, this is Jerry's place. Get out of here!
It looks like we were too late, Zozo. This is exactly what I foresaw in my psychic vision.
I knew what Sarah meant when I saw Jerry backed against a corner. He had tried to fight the Dreadliches on his own, but he was about to die.
Zozo, is that you? It seems I won't be able to see you get your body back.
Jerry, I'm sorry. We got here as fast as we could.
Don't worry about me. Dorian will surely pay for this. Make sure you and Sarah protect each other.
We will. Rest well, Jerry. I was so enraged by Jerry's death that I destroyed the Dreadliches with my lightning strikes until there were none left in the area. From day 36 to day 39, I made a return trip back to the Twilight Valley. It hadn't changed much since the other time I was here, but there was a fisherman at the local pond who I hadn't seen before. Hello there, I'm Zozo.
Well, hi there, Zozo. I'm fishing. Oh, I'm just kidding. My name is Fred the Fisherman, and I could use a hand.
Sure, Fred. What seems to be the problem?
I know I'd be able to catch more fish if I had some twilight worms as bait, but they're all way up there in the higher parts of the valley. Can you go get a couple for me?
You can count on me, Fred. I climbed up the terrain of the Twilight Valley, enjoying the view along the way. With all that happened recently, it was nice to gather my thoughts for a moment. The moment didn't last long though, because I was attacked by a giant. Even though it was big, it had gotten the drop on me. I took a few swings with my iron sword to make it think twice, then I warped back a short distance and hit it with a few lightning strikes. I closed the distance back into melee range and finished it off with my sword. Soon after, I returned to Fred the fisherman with the bait he was looking for. Happy fishing, hope you catch a big one.
Thanks. I only came here to the valley because the fishing in the ocean ain't that good anymore. Ever since that drowned necromancer rose from the sea, people have been afraid that he might have left a curse on it.
He is really evil, that Dorian. A curse on the place he was drowned. Sure sounds like him. From day 40 to day 43, I was looking at the base after coming home from my short journey and noticed that it had been redecorated to look even spookier, which for ghosts and spirits is incredibly cool. This place looks amazing.
I predicted that you would like the changes, Zozo.
Sarah, was this you? I do like it, but what was the occasion?
I wanted to invite some of my siren sisters to come live at the base. The new look is so they'll feel right at home. Is that all right with you?
Of course! If the other sirens are anything like you, then we'll all get along nicely. A while later, the other sirens that Sarah had mentioned arrived at the base. It was right at the time she had predicted that they would arrive. Hello everyone! Make yourself at home. Friends of Sarah are friends of mine.
Thanks for being so understanding, Zozo. Living at this base together always works out when we compromise.
Sure, the more the merrier. Soon after I greeted the sirens, the farmer who was also living at the base approached me so that we could talk.
Well, hey there, Zozo. You're just the ghost I was looking to see. I have another job for you, if you're willing.
Of course, I'm always willing to help a farmer in need.
I heard from some other farmers that there is a mutant enderman running around and ruining everyone's crops. If you could take care of that mob, you'd be helping farmers everywhere.
You can count on me. From day 44 to day 49, I took up the farmer on his request and traveled to the Taiga Mountain. That mutant enderman who was causing problems had to be around here somewhere. But it wasn't just mobs I had to worry about. Dorian was here on the mountain too, alongside a mutant zombie.
Well, 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 if it isn't the HEROBRINE who defied me. How has the spirit been faring? You're probably close to fading away into nothingness by now.
You wish, Dorian. My ghost form has only gotten more powerful, and I will use everything I have to get my body back.
Easier said than done, Zozo. You really think getting your body back will be so simple? I was counting on your ghost to become a vengeful spirit.
Wait, what do you mean?
Do you think the restless dead can return so easily to the way they used to be? Why do you think I still carry the curse of undeath after the villagers drowned me? It's because there is no way back to life for us evil spirits.
It can't be. Have I been getting stronger for nothing?
Yes, embrace your rage and frustration. Become the monster HEROBRINE and forget about reclaiming your body. My undead will help you become what you are meant to be!
Dorian the drowned necromancer disappeared into a fog, leaving behind the mutant zombie to battle me! From day 50 to day 53, I started my battle against the mutant zombie that had been sent against me. My lightning strikes were proving effective, but because of what Dorian the drowned necromancer had said, I was starting to get worried about using my ghost powers. I switched my sword and hacked away at the mutant zombie. I didn't use my warp or my lightning strike. It made the fight a lot harder, but I had to believe that I was more than just the monster HEROBRINE. I am going to get my body back, no matter what! The mutant zombie was defeated after a big struggle, and it dropped a spellbook once it was defeated. I took a moment to examine it, and I saw a flashback to Dorian's revival. He had just emerged from the ocean as a drowned necromancer and was looking to get revenge on the people of the world for what they did to him, casting down lightning strikes in his wrath. He researched the legends of other powerful undead beings and eventually came across the story of HEROBRINE. It looked like he didn't just steal my body to make me into a ghost. He wanted to make me just like the dangerous and evil HEROBRINE from the stories. Maybe then he'd finally have someone else as tortured and wicked as himself to hang out with. From day 54 to day 57, I resumed the farmer's quest to stop the mutant enderman in the Taiga Mountain. I found the mob in the process of a rampage, and with some nervousness, I approached. Can I actually defeat this mutant enderman without my ghost powers? The mutant Enderman sprinted at me and swiped at me with its powerful limbs. My hearts were getting low, and I was still weakened from the fight with the mutant zombie.
Is that all the great HEROBRINE can do against me? I thought you were more powerful. That's what the story said.
Believe everything you hear. I may not be the same HEROBRINE that is feared by everyone, but I am HEROBRINE myself. When I said it out loud, it made sense. I could use my ghost powers because I was the one in control of them, and I was using them to help. Take this!
Ow! Lightning strikes hurt! I thought I could be the scariest, but now I'm done for!
My ghost powers made short work of the mutant Enderman. He dropped an item upon his defeat, which turned out to be an antler headdress. With this headgear equipped, all of my attacks would gain greater knockback. What a neat upgrade! I returned to the farmer at the base and told him that I had defeated the mutant Enderman.
It seems that I can always count on you, Zozo. As a reward for getting rid of that mutant Enderman, I'll tell you a secret about Dorian the drowned necromancer.
What do you know about him?
I was there when the villagers drowned him in the ocean. His last words were a curse to everyone. He said, "Soon you'll all feel the loneliness that I have felt."
What did he mean?
I don't know, but he probably had something real evil in mind when he said it.
From day 58 to day 62, I managed to herd some more chickens into the base just to make sure we had a big enough food source for everyone. Then, I made my way deep into the underground cavern so I could do some mining for better materials. I used my iron pickaxe to dig until I struck diamonds and mined myself enough to create a diamond pickaxe. I equipped the new tool and kept mining diamonds until I had enough to craft a diamond sword, leggings, a chestplate, and boots. This new weapon and armor would serve me well in battle against the undead forces of Dorian the drowned necromancer. With my first pieces of diamond armor and gear in tow, I returned to the base, and there were now floating lanterns of ghost lights around the base. I even found that a new room had been added. Sarah had been hard at work making our haunted house into a haunted home.
This is just my way of saying thanks, Zozo. You've really been a friend to everyone after we lost Jerry the Geomancer. I feel like I could stay here for a very long time.
Thanks, Sarah. That means a lot too, because for ghosts like us, a really long time might mean eternity. From day 63 to day 66, I was down in the underground cavern making some expansions to the mine when Victor the Vindicator Chef came to see me.
Hey Zozo, I heard that you were still looking for your original body. There's a biome nearby where you may not have looked yet.
Oh really? Well, I'm glad you thought to tell me about it, Victor. I went back above ground and traveled to the place that Victor had told me about, the Wooded Badlands. I looked around for any signs of necromancy magic or a gravestone, anything that might lead me to my body. That's when I noticed a scary Gorgon sneaking up on me.
Boo!
Hey, don't say boo to me. I'm a ghost. That's our thing.
Sorry. I thought it would be fun to startle you. I didn't mean any offense.
It seemed like she meant it. That was a relief, because I thought I would have to fight this Gorgon. You're a lot nicer than you look.
I could say the same thing about you. You're the HEROBRINE, aren't you?
Sorta. I'm the new HEROBRINE. My name is Zozo.
Zozo, huh? I'm Morgan. You could still help me with a HEROBRINE quest, right?
I think so. What did you have in mind?
Oh, you agreed. This way, a new ghost friend.
From day 67 to day 70, I followed Morgan the Gorgon through the Wooded Badlands to find out more about this HEROBRINE quest she had mentioned.
So, aren't you curious about this HEROBRINE quest of ours?
Yes, actually. I was waiting for you to tell me more.
Well, according to the scary stories about HEROBRINE, he is supposed to be the most powerful undead because of his ability to rebuild and destroy.
Rebuild and destroy?
Yes, HEROBRINE can destroy and rebuild the world however he wants, and anyone who is able to control him would be able to gain the same power.
I don't have that kind of power.
Not yet. That's why we're on this quest. You need to regain your power by facing down another being that HEROBRINE fought. That's why we're headed to the lair of the Dread Beast.
We soon arrived at a part of the Wooded Badlands where the dangerous mob, known as the Dread Beast, was known to have her lair. Come on out, Dread Beast. I am Zozo the HEROBRINE, and I challenge you. The Dread Beast soon emerged and roared with anger.
You think you're HEROBRINE? Please, I battled the real HEROBRINE in the past. You'll never be as powerful a ghost as him.
We'll see. The dread beast charged in, but I knocked her back with a couple slices from my diamond sword, combined with the increased knockback from the antler headdress. She tried to resist and charge at me, but I warped out of the way and brought down lightning strikes until she was defeated. From day 71 to day 74, I thanked Morgan the Gorgon for helping me learn more about the HEROBRINE from the stories and left her to travel further across the wooded badlands in search of my body. I was starting to get the hang of this new spooky HEROBRINE story, and I was also starting to think it was going to end up being a pretty good one. But it's not the only story that you can find on this channel, so you should look for my other videos by typing Zozo into the search bar. I arrived at a rundown structure in the middle of the wooded badlands. I thought it maybe had something to do with how my old body might have lived. Yeah, I can feel it. I was definitely here before I was a ghost.
But that's what you are now, so why try to go back?
Dorian, it's you.
Still chasing after the past, Zozo? You will become my HEROBRINE, and I will use your powers to rebuild a world where everyone is as lonely as I've been.
That's a terrible thing to do, and I won't let you get away with it. I tried to lightning strike him, but he was immune to the damage. When I swung my diamond sword, he struck back with his own weapon, doing far more damage than I could do to him.
Fool, you actually thought I wasn't prepared to fight you. You'll get a bit stronger, but your ghost form will still fade away. Before then, I do hope you help me achieve my lonely world. What else do you have to continue on for?
Dorian, the drowned necromancer, spared my ghostly life, probably because I was still important to his plans. One thing's for sure, I need to get stronger than he ever imagined I could be. From day 75 to day 78, I kept thinking about how I should face Dorian the drowned necromancer. He had been a restless spirit for a lot longer than me, and maybe I'd have to become just as evil as him to have a fighting chance. But I don't want to be evil. I don't want to be that kind of HEROBRINE. Seeing that I was down, Sarah the psychic siren came to my room to cheer me up.
Zozo, I foresaw that you would be sad, so I made sure to give the base an almost invisible enchanted mist so it'd be hidden from attacks. That way, nobody will disturb us without us expecting it.
That's really good, Sarah. Thank you.
Let me tell you, Zozo, in my professional opinion as a psychic, I don't predict that you'll turn evil.
I hope I can live up to your predictions. I went outside for a bit to get some air, and shortly after, Victor the Vindicator Chef joined me with a fresh new magic cake that he had just baked.
Give this a try, Zozo. I think it might just pick you up.
Thanks, Victor. I gobbled up the cake and felt a transformation coming on. I doubled in size, and my heart gauge increased to contain 80 hearts. Victor sure knows how to cook. From day 79 to day 84, I went back to the wooded badlands to see if I could face Dorian the drowned necromancer again. I knew this whole thing would be over if I could just shut him down. Dorian wasn't here himself, but it seemed like he might have used some of his necromancy to mobilize a few random skeletons to fight me. With my lightning strikes, I was easily able to blow away these weak undead. I wasn't satisfied with the amount of searching I'd done here, so I examined the structure more closely. That's when I noticed doors that led to a dwelling where a pink pixie was staying. Hello there, I'm Zozo. Do you know anything about who used to live here?
Yeah, I do. There was a village here that was destroyed by storms, a blizzard, and a thunderstorm. There was only one surviving villager, and he was really alone.
Was that villager HEROBRINE?
Yeah, this is the place where HEROBRINE's story began. The land has been cursed, and plants have never grown as well here since.
It's just like that curse that Dorian put on the ocean. I've got to put the hero in HEROBRINE and find a way to lift both of those curses.
This may help you in your journey, Zozo.
Pixie gave me a netherite helmet, an extremely durable piece of armor that would certainly give me a fighting chance the next time I saw Dorian. From day 85 to day 89, I returned to my base, excited to show my friends the awesome netherite helmet I'd been given. Instead, I found a bunch of dreadliches invading my base, trying to find and attack those same friends. Oh, I can't let this slide. I don't want to overuse my ghost powers, but for the sake of my friends, it's a risk worth taking. I started firing lightning blasts left and right, destroying them quickly and dropping their morale. The rest saw my skills and took off running, but I wasn't going to let an attack on my own base slide. I came running after them. But while chasing them, I ran into a troll who seemed to be crying. As much as I wanted revenge, I didn't want to leave a clearly distressed guy on the hook like that. So I asked him what was wrong.
I've been working on my novel, but I can't seem to get through it. I'm losing confidence in myself.
You can do it, Mr. Troll. Just believe in yourself and try to get past the first draft. I'll be excited to read it when it's done.
Thank you, kind stranger. I'll never forget this.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the surviving Dreadliches into the snowy plains. It was freezing. I remembered what I had read about Dorian before. He needs to be cold. He must be hiding somewhere out here. I'm on his territory now. But I couldn't afford to worry about that just yet. I needed to track down and defeat those liches. Eventually, I caught up to them. They must have gotten exhausted and stopped. I finally had my chance. You guys are gonna pay for attacking my base.
Oh, Zozo, you're so naive. Dorian knew everything. He predicted exactly what you'd do. And now you're going to get destroyed.
You've never been able to destroy me before. What makes you guys think you're gonna be able to do it now?
Oh, it won't be us, Zozo. It'll be him.
A huge, terrifying Dread Knight stepped out, and the Dreadliches all ran off. He must have been one of Dorian's most dangerous henchmen yet. Even as a ghost, I think I'm gonna ache after this one. From day 95 to day 97, I went head-to-head with the Dread Knight. And he was as fast and as powerful as I'd feared. And as the battle went on, I was worried I might be doomed until I got a second wind and fought back with all of my might. Soon enough, I defeated even the terrible Dread Knight, the deadliest of Dorian the Drowned Necromancer's henchmen. I'm stronger than I've ever been, but does this mean I'm doomed to become evil and end up serving that monster? But my worried thoughts were interrupted by a new discovery. When the Dread Knight was defeated, he dropped a notebook containing instructions direct from the enemy. Destroy Zozo. He is unworthy of the title of HEROBRINE. Return to the ice cave when you are done. If you need anything extra to finish the job, check the chest behind the broken boulder. So now I knew that Dorian was hiding in some kind of ice cave, and that note about the chest really intrigued me. I searched the snowy plain until I found a boulder that looked half shattered, and then I found a chest behind it. And inside the chest was a battle axe. This belongs to Dorian. I can't wait to give it back to him. On day 98, I returned to my base to tell everyone who'd helped me how all of this was going to unfold. For all I knew, it might be my final chance to speak with them. Guys, I wanted to thank all of you for how much you've helped me. I never could have gotten this far without you. This final part is so dangerous that I have to do it alone. Dorian is more powerful than ever, but I'd rather be destroyed than let him use me as an evil tool.
There's no way he'd destroy you, Zozo. You're too powerful and too good-hearted. And in the end, the good guys always win, and the bad guys always lose.
Here, here. After you defeat him, Zozo, I'll bake a mighty cake that we can all enjoy.
And I'll farm all the best quality ingredients. You've got this, Zozo. I have full confidence in you.
You're all the best. I'm gonna defeat him for you, all of you, and I'm going to get my body back. On day 99, I ventured back to the snowy plains with everything I needed to finally take on the big, bad beast of a necromancer who stole my body. It's time for me to show you the door, Dorian. Didn't actually take me that long to find the ice cave that was Dorian's hideout because I spotted a large guard force of Dreadliches waiting outside, keeping a lookout. Talk about an undead giveaway. There were so many of them, and they looked better armed and armored than usual. Dorian must have known I was coming and put them here to slow me down before the final battle. It's an ingenious plan. What can I do?
I think I may be of service.
I turned and saw that Morgan the Gorgon was behind me. Morgan, what are you doing here?
Sorry for following you. I was gonna yell boo again, but it didn't seem like the right moment. I feel like I've been missing out on all the action. Let me distract these undead creeps, and you can go in there and take down the big bad guy.
Sounds like a great plan, Morgan. Let's do this. On day 100, while Morgan was distracting the Dreadliches outside, I entered the ice cave and found Dorian the Drowned Necromancer waiting for me.
You made it through my servants. How?
It's because I don't have servants. I have friends.
Oh, spare me all that self-righteous foolishness. You can't talk your way out of serving me. I brought you back. I bound you. You belong to me, Zozo, and nothing will change that.
I'm going to keep fighting, no matter what. for myself and my friends. And when I'm done, all you're going to be is a bad memory.
Then let's see. Time to go back to the void, silly little ghost.
I unleashed everything I had onto Dorian, not giving up, even as he fought back against me. I could tell as the battle went on, he was getting weaker and weaker. I pulled out the battle axe that Dorian had left for his Dread Knight to destroy me. I'm sure the void will welcome you, Dorian. And with one more strike, Dorian was no more. There was a tremendous flash, and in the moment that Dorian was destroyed, my body was returned to me. Wow, it feels amazing to be back. On day 1, I spawned in as an elemental shark in the middle of a tropical rainforest. And before I could understand what any of that even meant, I was surrounded by a gang of terrifying fire elementals, led by a massive magma golem.
There looks like we got him, boss. The last elemental who wouldn't bend the knee for ya.
What? I feel like I'm missing something here. Everyone laughed at me for saying that, and it definitely didn't make me feel good. The magma golem was the only one who remained steely and serious.
I think I'm missing something too. I'm missing the part where you swore absolute loyal to me, Magnus, the Magma Golem, Lord of the Elementals.
Who made you Lord of the Elementals? I've never even heard of you.
I made myself the Lord, and if you don't bow to me, I'll make you into Shark Elemental Sushi.
I think I'd rather make myself scarce. Before the Magma Golem or his fire elementals could attack me, I used one of my elemental powers to warp out of there and run away as fast as I could. As if this day wasn't stressful enough, as I was running away, I got incredibly hungry and didn't have any food. Could this get any worse? The only food I could find in the tropical rainforest was some apples, but it was being guarded by an angry earth elemental. Would you be down to share one of those apples with me?
No, these apples can only be enjoyed by servants of Magnus, Lord of the Elementals.
Is there anyone around here who doesn't work for this guy? I fought the earth elemental with my bare fins until I gave up and ran away. Finally, I was able to at least enjoy an apple. This is the one nice thing that's happened to me today. What's going on here? On day 2, I kept running through the tropical forest until I was convinced I'd lost the Magma Golem and his nasty gang of fire elementals. If there's one thing I can be sure of in this crazy, confusing world, it's that those guys are bad news. When I felt safe, I punched down one of the trees and made myself a wooden pickaxe. And with that, it wasn't hard to mine down into the ground and collect myself enough stone blocks to get started on a base. I think after all this craziness, I've really earned a roof over my head tonight. I used the stone and wood I collected to start building a base with a basic bedroom and living area, complete with a sofa and a couch. I also made myself a stone sword and a stone pickaxe. It wasn't much, but at least it was something. As long as that awful magma golem doesn't come and try to burn it down. But I soon wished I hadn't said that, because a few of the magma golem's fire elementals came blazing through the forest towards me.
You thought you could escape us, didn't you, kid? Nobody escapes Magnus or his minions. Sooner or later, you're gonna give in to his demands or be destroyed.
But why would I want to work for a guy like him? What is he even planning?
You're not important enough to know that. Come on, boys, let's torch him.
The fire elementals came for me, and I used my stone sword to fight them back until they were nothing more than ashes. I still don't understand what's happening here. What is this Magnus guy planning, and what part do I play in all of this? You better watch to the end if you want to help me find out. On day 3, I decided it was time to investigate what was going on. After all, if I didn't know the truth, I was at a disadvantage. I started exploring around the tropical rainforest until I found someone who wanted to talk to me about it, and that someone just so happened to be a scary-looking monster mushroom named Fungo. To my surprise, he was friendly. Please, Fungo, tell me about what the deal is with Magnus, the so-called Lord of the Elements. He's been hassling me ever since I spawned here.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense. You're a shark elemental, right? And as his name suggests, Magnus, the Lord of the Elementals, wants to get control of as many of the elementals as he can. And if you want to get them too, chances are the only way you're going to be able to do it is by taking the fight to him.
Defeat Magnus? Maybe if I get stronger I could do that, but why? I don't understand why he's doing this.
Well, Take a seat on that log over there, buddy, 'cause that's a much longer and wilder story.
So I did as I was told and sat down, but nothing could prepare me for what I was about to hear. From day 4 to day 5, I sat down and listened to the story Fungo the monster mushroom told me about Magnus the magma golem.
First, you need to understand that golems are always created by villagers. They are not natural creatures, and as such, they are completely at odds with the natural elements of the world. But when Magnus was created, he learned to hate his own unnaturalness. He was so frustrated by it that he wanted to conquer the elements and make them work for him. One by one, he subdued the fire elementals, the earth elementals, the air elementals, and the water elementals. Through their allegiance, he may be able to control all the forces of the natural world. And in order to defeat him before he becomes too powerful, you'll need to master all 4 of the elements and gain their powers.
Oh, just like in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Wait, you've seen Avatar? Sweet, that's gonna make all of this a lot easier to understand. Be careful out there, Zozo. If you can get strong enough and gain all these powers, you can save us all. But to help with the learning process, you'll need to find a mentor.
Do you know where I can find one?
Nope. Good luck.
From day 6 to day 8, with all the new information that Fungo the monster mushroom had given me stewing around in my head, I started making my way back to my base. So, I need to find a mentor. How can I track one down? It's not like they have a directory website. But my frustration and self-pity was interrupted by seeing an innocent swamp pig being picked on by more of those evil fire elementals.
Please, guys, leave me alone. I'm just doing my daily exercise.
Little piggy's trying to exercise. Hilarious. We can help you warm up.
Oh yeah, we'll fry your bacon.
These are extremely insensitive jokes, guys. Please leave me alone.
But I knew they'd never leave that poor swamp pig alone. Not unless I made them. That's why I pulled out my stone sword and ran in to fight them off. Leave that innocent pig alone, you meanies! It didn't take me long to defeat them all and rescue the swamp pig from a fiery doom. Needless to say, he was relieved.
Thank you, kind stranger. I'm Sammy the swamp pig. You have done me a great kindness today, and I'll never forget it.
No problem, Sammy. I'm Zozo, by the way. Say, do you have any idea where I might find a mentor? I really need one to help me save the world.
Well, I did hear rumors about a great teacher who lived near water somewhere, but that's all I know. Still, I want to help you, Zozo. I really owe you one.
How about you come back to my base? I could really use some allies right now. I led Sammy the Swamp Pig back into my base and started building a new room in my base for him to stay in. And make sure you keep watching until the end, because the craziest parts are yet to come. From day 9 to day 10, I found a huge underground cavern in the tropical rainforest where I could search for rarer materials. The deeper and darker I descended in, the more veins of iron ore I found. I mined and collected the iron ore and then constructed a furnace underground to smelt into iron ingots. Now it's time to make myself some awesome new equipment. I made a set of iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron pickaxe. And not a second too soon, as I heard something terrifying skittering around in the dark. I turned and saw a giant skulk scorpion crawling towards me, looking like it was ready to attack. And it turned out that it actually was. I tried to attack it with my iron sword, but it didn't seem to have much of an effect on the monster, which was as strong and fast as it was angry. In the end, I needed to use my location warping ability to zap out of there and run deeper into the darkness of the underground cavern. Can't see how this would ever end badly. From day 11 to day 12, all I could do was try to hide deeper in the underground cavern and hope that the skulk scorpion didn't find me down there. How am I gonna save the world from a powerful magma golem if I can't even defeat a nasty underground bug? Deep in the dark, my greatest enemy wasn't the skulk scorpion or even Magnus, the lord of the elementals. It was just pure boredom. So when I found a dusty old book, you can only imagine how relieved I was. I certainly never expected that this book would contain the secret to Magnus's rise to power. It was filled with strange Latin text, but then I opened the book to a section called the 3 Enforcers. It described 3 terrifying and powerful golems who worked for Magnus: the Bone Golem, the Diamond Golem, and the Bedrock Golem. These 3 golems were vital for keeping all the elementals in line, and if I was able to defeat all 3 of the Enforcer golems, Magnus's control over elementals would probably collapse. Now I know what I need to do. If I defeat the 3 Enforcers, defeating Magnus afterwards would be easy. But I was celebrating a little too loudly. Suddenly, a vicious fire salamander, a powerful underworld creature, ran towards me. He was a tough mob to defeat since he shot flames at me. He had something that looked like an organic turret protruding from his back. A truly bizarre and scary mob, but with the knowledge of what I needed to do fueling me, I was able to do it. And this gave me enough XP to level up, becoming a bigger, stronger elemental shark with 18 hearts and the ability to breathe fire. Looks like I've mastered 1 element, 3 to go. Keep watching to see what I evolve into next. From day 13 to day 15, I returned to my base, bigger and stronger than ever before. And when I was back, I saw that Sammy the Swamp Pig had made an awesome addition to the base while I was gone, a whole new floor. Whoa, Sammy, this room looks so cool. What exactly is it?
Look, it's a lounge area, Zozo. You need to stay relaxed if you want to be in harmony with the 4 elements.
An excellent idea, Sammy. Do you have any news on where I might be able to find the mentor I've been searching for too?
I've heard of some strange activity near a pond deep in the tropical rainforest. Maybe that has something to do with it.
On Sammy's advice, I ventured out deeper into the tropical rainforest until I found the pond and what looked like a crimson wizard waiting outside it.
Stay back, Elemental! I will not serve your master!
He fired an energy blast at me that took off a few of my hearts and prepared to fire another. Wait! You don't understand! I'm an elemental, but I don't work for Magnus. I'm trying to defeat him. I'm just looking for a mentor that will help train me to stop him.
Oh, I see. Sorry about firing an energy blast at you there, old chap. You can't be too careful these days with Magnus and his minions around.
It's okay, I understand. So, can you mentor me, Mr. Wizard?
I'm afraid that isn't my area of expertise, but I also wish to stop the diabolical Magnus. You and I can work together to make that a reality.
It never hurts to have magic on your side, I guess. Come on back to my base with me. Let's work together.
Lead the way, Elemental Shark.
I set off back towards my base with 1 more ally in tow. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to my base with the Crimson Wizard. Because Sammy the Swamp Pig figured I might be returning with a mentor, he'd already built a room for the Crimson Wizard. My base is practically becoming a hotel. I should start charging people.
I'd be happy to pay. This room looks wonderful.
Before you get too comfortable, Crimson Wizard, I need some advice. Do you have any idea where I should go next in my quest to master the elements and take on Magnus?
Good question, Zozo. Personally, I would suggest the Mojave Desert. To master all the elements, you must first experience them all.
That sounds like a good idea to me. Time to go. After a couple days of traveling, I'd reached the Mojave Desert and started searching around for any clues as to what I needed to do next. The last thing I expected was to run into a talking desert cat. Hey, little kitty, do you have any idea what I can do to help defeat Magnus, Lord of the Elementals?
Meow. Magnus? You mean the magma golem? I think some of his henchmen are around here, just a little further west in this very desert. Maybe go defeat them, and I'll see whatever information I can provide afterwards.
That's so convenient. Thank you, Desert Cat. From day 20 to day 22, following the cat's instructions, I went further west into the Mojave Desert. It didn't take me long to find a gang of rowdy air elementals who were just itching for a fight.
Hey, look! It's that elemental shark who defied the orders of Lord Magnus.
Yep, that's me, but I'm not here for you small fries. That'd be a waste of my time.
Small fries? Oh, buddy, you are gonna regret saying that.
They flew over to attack me, but I was ready. With my iron sword, I cut them down and defeated each one of them until I was the last one standing. Or so I thought. Turned out, one of Magnus's head enforcers, the Bone Golem, had been sneaking up behind me. I turned just as the Bone Golem hit me, taking off a shocking number of hearts. Immediately, I was fighting for my life, striking him with my iron sword, but it wasn't having any effect. He was so confident, he started throwing his own bones at me. I needed to pull out the big guns and use my elemental powers on this nasty overgrown skeleton. Fire breath, go! I breathed a powerful jet of flames onto the Bone Golem, finally defeating him. And with that, I was a third of the way to bringing down Magnus and his empire of evil. From day 23 to day 26, I went back to tell the desert cat about my success. Hey, little kitty, I found those henchmen, and I kicked their butts.
Meow, that's great news. Those jerks kept making crazy wind and messing up my fur. Now I can nap in peace without worrying about any air elementals bothering me.
So, what can you tell me about Magnus, and how can I defeat him?
Well, Magnus doesn't like to fight his own fights. He prefers to have his henchmen take care of that for him. So if you can defeat all of his elemental goons, he won't have anyone left to fight for him, and he'll have to face you himself.
I guess I just need to make sure I'm strong enough when the time comes.
Meow, that sounds about right. Oh, before I forget, maybe you can use this.
The cat gave me a potion of power. Thanks, I can definitely use this.
Glad to hear it. Now scram, it's my nap time, and I just found the perfect sunny spot.
You got it. I left the cat and continued walking through the desert until I found a new area. When I got there, I was jumped by some earth elementals.
Say, it's the wise guy who thinks he can defy Lord Magnus. Let's get him, boys.
Not if I get you first. Fire breath, go! I blew a blast of fire at the earth elementals and followed it up with an attack with my iron sword. Pretty soon, all but one of the earth elementals was defeated.
Wait, if you let me go, I can give you some information.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Lord Magnus's headquarters. It's guarded by earth, air, and water elementals. Is that helpful?
Yeah, get out of here. He ran away, and I took the moment of victory to drink my potion of power. When I did, I gained 24 hearts, evolving into an even bigger version of myself. And I gained the Earth ability. I can shoot an Earth charge that leaves behind a pile of dirt on the ground. Looks like I just mastered Earth. 2 down, 2 to go. From day 27 to day 31, I headed back to my base. On the way there, I passed the pond again. There was a diamond golem there, waiting for me. He attacked me, and I tried to fight back, but he was way too strong. In the end, I had to run away before he dealt me too much damage. That was a close one. I was scared he'd chase after me, but finally I made it back to my base, safe and sound.
Wow, Zozo, look at you. You're so big and strong.
Indeed, your stature is most impressive.
Thanks, guys, but I'm not done yet. I've still got 2 elements left to master, and I need to get way stronger if I'm gonna defeat Magnus.
Still, you must take time to celebrate how far you have already come. Speaking of progress, I have a sense that there is something useful to you waiting at a nearby location, the Rainbow Beach.
Then I'd better get going and see what it is. From day 32 to day 35, I traveled to the Rainbow Beach to see what the wizard might have sensed out there. I sure wish magic would be more specific. Oh well, I guess that's just how magic is. As I was looking around, I spotted an iron golem up ahead. Hey there, do you know anything about Magnus?
Don't you ever say that name to me! How dare you bring him up in my presence!
Oh wait, I didn't mean to offend you. Before I could explain, he attacked me. I drew my sword and fought back, but he was really strong. Turns out though, so was I. After fighting for a while, it became pretty clear that we were evenly matched. Please, let's stop this and just talk.
You're lucky I'm getting tired. Fine, talk.
I get the feeling you don't like Magnus much.
Don't like him? That's an understatement. We used to be best friends a long time ago. One day though, he started getting obsessed with the elements. He wanted to control them, all of them. And when I tried to argue with him, elementals think they're so great. Huh. See how great they think they are when I find a way to control every element. What's wrong with you having one specialty? All I do is iron, but you don't see me complaining. That's because you're a loser, and I don't need to spend my time with losers. If you're not with me, you're against me. He knocked me out and left. I never saw him again. Pretty soon, I started hearing about what he was getting up to, and I realized that the friend I used to know was gone. His jealousy and hunger for power turned him into a villain.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to master all the elements too, but it's so I can beat him and stop him from hurting people.
If that's true, then that is a noble goal. I wish you luck, Mr. Shark.
Thanks. the name Zozo. From day 36 to day 39, I traveled back to the tropical rainforest. I really need to upgrade my armor. Let's see what I can find here.
If armor upgrades you do seek, then it is to me that you should speak.
Who's there? And why are you rhyming? A monster mushroom jumped out from behind a tree.
Sorry, when I get nervous I talk in rhymes. I know where you can get some upgrades. Lord Magnus's base is empty right now, and there are plenty of supplies to be found in there. It's not like he deserves them. You might as well take them.
Sounds good to me, but where's his base?
In the swamp surrounded by lava. Do me a favor though, if you see a big mean fire elemental running with a gang of other fiery jerks, would you defeat him for me? He tried to hurt me, and I'd rather he not get a chance to try again.
You got it! Thanks for the help! Following the monster mushroom's directions, I managed to make my way to the swamps and Magnus's base. From day 40 to day 43, I fought my way into Magnus's base. There was only a few wither skeleton guards, and it was easy to beat them. Then, I ran inside. Jeez, this place really suits the guy. It looks as mean as he is. I didn't have much time to look around because the diamond golem from earlier was inside. Uh-oh, this guy again. I've got to do a better job this time. I started with my fire breath, then followed it up with a sword attack. It was pretty tough, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to do it. But finally, I was able to defeat him. When the diamond golem fell, he dropped a whole bunch of diamonds. This is just what I need. Now I can go back to the base and upgrade my gear. I grabbed all the diamonds. Now I've got to get out of here before Magnus gets back. I may be a lot stronger than I used to be, but I'm still not ready to face him. Maybe with some upgraded armor and weapons though, I'll be closer to my goal. From day 44 to day 49, I traveled back to my base and got to work on upgrading my armor and weapons. Using all of the diamonds I got from that diamond golem, I was able to craft a diamond pickaxe, a diamond sword, and some diamond armor. Awesome, look at all this stuff. I feel more powerful already. Okay, back to exploring. I need to see what else I can do to improve and work toward mastering those last two elements. I headed out into the rainforest and started exploring. As I did, I came across a group of fire elementals. They didn't see me at first, but I could hear them.
You guys remember that loser mushroom that got away from us before? I think I know where we can find him and finish the job.
Nice! He was so pathetic! Let's go get him!
That's the fire elemental he was talking about. If I fight and defeat these guys, he won't have to worry about them anymore.
Wait, there's some shocky freak listening to us. That's the guy the boss told us about.
Yup, and I'm here to kick your butts. Using my new diamond sword, I was able to defeat those fire elementals in no time. This new gear sure is great. I can't wait to see the look on Magnus's face when he realizes I'm finally strong enough to take him down. But I can't get ahead of myself. I gotta focus on mastering water and air. Time to get moving. From day 50 to day 53, I traveled into the Red Rock Highlands to seek out new ways to master the elements. I feel like the Highlands can teach me air stuff, right? That seems right. Or maybe water. Is there water here? As I explored, I came across an open book lying on the ground. Inside it said, "I'm gentle enough to wash your hair, light enough to fly through the sky, strong enough to crack rocks." What am I? That doesn't make any sense. How can one thing wash hair, fly in the air, and break rocks? I don't get it. It took me a little while to think about it, but suddenly it came to me. Wait a second, it's water!
That's right, Zozo.
An earth elemental jumped out at me.
Guess you're smarter than you look. Too bad you'll never get a chance to master water because Lord Magnus sent me to take you out.
Out to dinner?
No, out of this world.
Oh no! I got my diamond sword ready and started swinging. I followed it up with some fire breath and the earth elemental crumbled. After the fight, I could feel myself getting bigger and stronger. I'm evolving again! As I got stronger, I gained more hearts. Now I have 35 of them. I also gained the Ice Blast ability. I can freeze enemies in place with this. I guess I finally mastered water. Only one more to go! From day 54 to day 57, I returned to my base. The Crimson Wizard had a surprise for me. He built some protective walls around the base while I was gone.
As a token of appreciation for letting me stay at your home rent-free, I thought I might work on our defenses a little bit.
These walls look really nice. I feel safer already. Thanks!
No problem.
Now I'm feeling pretty good, but I know I need to get stronger and master the fourth and final element. I need some help. I wonder if there's anyone who can mentor me. I looked around the base for ideas, but as awesome as my new friends were, none of them would be able to teach me about fighting. Wait a second, that iron golem I met before was really tough and cool. I should go ask him if he can help me. I returned to the place where I met the iron golem and sure enough, he was there. Hey, it's me, Zozo. Remember me?
I do. How is your quest to master the elements and defeat Magnus going?
I've got 3 out of 4 down, but I still need to get stronger. Would you train me?
Train you to take down Magnus? It would be an honor. Let's get to work, Zozo.
From day 58 to day 62, I started my training with the Iron Golem. He set up a wall of blocks for me.
You see these blocks? Break them without touching them.
I'll try my best. I used my fire breath to break the blocks.
Now try to dodge my attacks.
He ran at me and attacked, and I dodged. He had me do a bunch of different challenges and training exercises. I had to run up and down the beach, go out into the water and swim back, and test out all my new powers. By the time I was done, I was exhausted, but I also gained more strength. Sweet! This will help my sword hit even harder. But I haven't mastered air yet.
Not yet, but you've made some great progress. I'm proud of you.
Thanks for all your help. You've been a great mentor. From day 63 to day 66, I went back to my base. When I got there, I saw a group of water elementals running away from the base. What the? Oh no! They had destroyed my base and destroyed some of the walls.
Zozo, help! These miscreants kidnapped the swamp pig!
No! I was able to catch up with one of the water elementals and I hit him with my pile of dirt. Tell me where they took my friend or I'll hit you again!
Zoinks! Don't do that! They took the pig to Lord Magnus's base. There's a prison cell attached to it. They're gonna throw him in there.
And I've got to get over there too. No time to waste. I need to save my friend. I'd let the water elemental go and set off toward the Wailing Garth to rescue the swamp pig. From day 67 to day 70, I traveled to Magnus's base on a swamp pig rescue mission. When I reached the swamps, I saw a big cage in the base, and there was the swamp pig trapped inside. Don't worry, I'll get you out of there.
Yeah, right. You'll have to go through us first.
The water elementals closed in around me, but I had a plan. Maybe I should give you guys the cold shoulder. I fired my ice blast ability at the water elementals, freezing them in place. Then I used my diamond sword to take them out one by one. The last water elemental dropped a key to the cage. Now let's get you free. I used the key to unlock the cage and let the swamp pig out.
Thank you, Zozo. I knew you'd save me.
What are friends for? Now let's get out of here before Magnus comes back. We ran back to the base together, and much to my surprise, when we got back, all the damage was fixed. Wow, who did this?
I did. I also added some guard towers so we can see threats coming if any more of Magnus's henchmen decide to attack us again.
Awesome, thank you so much. From day 71 to day 74, I wasn't sure what to do next. Can I learn about how to master air? I just don't know. Wait a second, there was that Skulk Scorpion I couldn't fight before. I bet I could beat him now. Maybe then I'll figure out what to do next. With my new plan to fight the Skulk Scorpion, I headed down into the underground cavern. Hello, Mr. Scorpion, are you down here still? Sure enough, there it was! The scorpion ran at me and tried to sting me with its stinger, but I fought back with a fire breath and my sword. Then I used my ice blast to freeze it and follow up with the sword to finish it off. I did it! I did it! Hey, look at this! There was a book on the ground. The Book of Exposition. What's it say? The answers you seek lie deeper in the cavern, but there you must face the bedrock golem. Well, who am I to argue with a random book? Let's go! From day 75 to day 78, I followed the instructions from the Book of Exposition and headed deeper into the underground cavern. There, I saw a group of earth elementals and a big bedrock golem behind them. Before I could say anything or attack, the earth elementals spotted me.
I've had enough of this clown. Why don't you just give up already?
Because what Magnus is doing is wrong, and I can't just stand by and let him get away with it.
Okay, then don't stand by. Just stand. Die.
The earth elementals rushed at me, but I was ready for them. I fought them with my diamond sword. Once they were all gone, I turned my attention to the bedrock golem. Now it's your turn. He was much tougher than the earth elementals. In fact, he was tougher than anyone else I had fought so far. I had to use all of my special abilities to knock him down and out of his misery. That was a relief, and good, because I felt myself evolving again. My hearts increased to 80, and I gained the ability Whirlwind Attack. I did it! I mastered air! I've got to tell everyone! From day 79 to day 84, I ran back to the base to deliver the good news. Hey, look! Look! I showed my friends my new evolved form and tested out my whirlwind attack for them.
Wow, Zozo, you're amazing!
Most impressive.
So now what should I do?
Excellent question, my friend. I believe the answers await us at the Red Rock Highlands. Shall we go there now?
Yes, let's go! From day 85 to day 89, the Crimson Wizard and I traveled to the Red Rock Highlands. Okay, we're here. Now what?
Let me see. I had hoped the Highlands would reveal the truth to me when we arrived, but it remains unclear. Perhaps we should see if we can acquire any additional items that might allow you to upgrade your gear?
Sure, why not? Together, we searched the area for cool items. I found some more diamonds and gathered them up. From day 90 to day 94, I was gathering diamonds while the Crimson Wizard headed back to the base. All of a sudden, Magnus appeared behind me.
Still haven't given up yet, I see.
Nope, and I never will. I finally mastered all the elements, and I'm coming for ya.
Oh yeah? How are you going to do that from underground?
What? What are you talking about?
The one element you haven't mastered, the element of surprise.
Magnus hit me hard, knocking my diamonds out of my hands. Then he got me again, knocking me out cold. When I woke up, I was in an underground chamber. Oh no, I'm trapped in here. What should I do? Wait a second, Magnus didn't count on me still having this iron pickaxe. I'll use it to tunnel out of here. I wasn't sure how long I'd been out, so I had to work fast and make up for lost time. I dug faster than I'd ever dug before, until I broke through to the surface. Nice try, Magnus, but you can't get rid of me that easily. From day 95 to day 97, I started making my way back to my base. On the way, I was ambushed by a group of Earth elementals.
See? I told the boss burying him wouldn't work. Weeds always grow back.
I'm not a weed, I'm an elemental shark, and I'm stronger than you, and I'll prove it. I fought back, and with my mastery of all 4 elements, it didn't take long for me to beat them. I finished my fight with the whirlwind attack and blew them away. Awesome! Okay, no time to celebrate yet. I've got to get back to the base. On day 98, I finally made my way back to my base.
Zozo, where have you been?
We were worried about you.
Magnus surprised me and trapped me in an underground chamber. I had to dig myself out.
Monstrous.
That's awful.
It's okay, I'm totally fine. I made it back, and we still have time for me to use my mastery of the elements to defeat Magnus and restore peace. It's gonna be great!
You're right, Zozo. Gee, this sure has been a wild adventure.
And to see more adventures like it, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and search ZOZO!
Zozo, allow me to accompany you to Magnus's lair. There, you can finally end this nightmare for good.
On day 99, the Crimson Wizard walked with me all the way to the swamps and Magnus's base. He couldn't come with me, but I didn't want him to. It was important for me to face Magnus on my own. There, outside the base, were Earth Elementals, Air Elementals, and Water Elementals guarding it. I was pretty nervous at first because there were loads of them and they all attacked me, but I knew I could do it. I fought my way through the elemental guards, freezing them with my ice blast, burning them with my fire breath, and blowing them away with my whirlwind attack. It took a while to get through all of them, but in the end, I managed. Phew, all that fighting made me hungry. Magnus must be anticipating me, because he really did gather all the remaining elementals to guard his base. Now, let me find him. On day 100, I headed into Magnus's base to finally complete my quest. He was sitting on a throne, waiting for me. I escaped your trap.
So I see. I had a feeling you might. It doesn't matter. You're going to lose.
I don't think I am. See, there's something you don't get about the elements. They require balance. They're equal. None of them are better than the others. Elements don't have lords. They're all equal and work together.
Foolish words from a foolish shark. No more talking. Let's fight.
He didn't have to tell me twice. He didn't even have to tell me once. I was already getting my sword ready. I used my dirt ability to hopefully trap him, but he dodged it. He came back at me with an attack, but I dodged it and attacked again. All of a sudden, Magnus started shaking and growing. He evolved into a bigger, stronger version of himself right before my eyes. Uh-oh, I've got to step up my game. Ice time! I used my ice ability to freeze Magnus so he wouldn't have a chance to hit me with his new evolved strength. This gave me just enough time to use all the other elements back to back. Earth, fire, air! With all my powers combined, I finally defeated Magnus! It's over! Now we can all coexist in peace again! On day 1, I spawned in as the Grim Reaper. Then I noticed I was tiny, and I only had 3 hearts. What is this nonsense? I looked around and saw that I was in front of a castle. Ooh, this looks interesting. I'll take a look inside. I opened the door and called out, "Anybody home?" Maybe one of my friends lived here or something. I started wandering around and found myself in a throne room. What is that? I saw a man with a mutant wither skeleton. He was holding a scythe. Wait, I think that's my scythe. How did you get it? The man screamed in rage and pointed at me.
Destroy him!
A bunch of zombies came out from the back room, and I gasped in shock. Without even thinking, I fired an icy blast that froze some of the zombies solid. Huh, that's interesting. I guess this is because I'm as cold as death. I ran out the door and down the stairs as the zombies followed me. That was not what I was expecting. And why does that guy have an army of zombies? That's not right. I found a small cave and decided to sleep there for the night. Tomorrow, I'll find out what's going on. On day 2, I left the cave to go exploring. I walked for half a day until I found my way to the autumn forest. I don't really have a home, so I guess I'm gonna have to make one. I started collecting some wood to make a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. After some additional mining and crafting, I had some simple stone tools and weapons. Well, it's better than nothing. I had been working so hard all day, so when I stopped, I realized I was hungry. What does a Grim Reaper eat? I found some cows and pigs and cooked up some food for myself. It didn't do anything to help. In fact, it made me feel sick. Gross! I need to find something else. I noticed that it had gotten dark. Suddenly, a group of zombies popped out and started attacking me. With my new stone sword, I was able to take them out easily. They had dropped some meat, and I stared at it hungrily. Maybe this will help me? I ate the meat, and sure enough, my hearts were restored. I feel much better now. I made it back to my base and worked on a few more things before heading to bed. On day 3, I went back out to find more materials for the base. It was safe enough, but I wanted to make some improvements. It turned out to be a nice day. I hope nothing too crazy happens today. I realized I had spoken too soon, because just then, I heard an awful crash. I ran to see what the noise was when I saw a Dread Queen fighting a bunch of zombies. Hey, leave her be! I rushed forward with my weapons. The zombies started to attack me when I remembered my trick at the castle. I fired out some ice blasts and froze up some of those nasty zombies. The others noticed and started to run away.
Nice job, Death. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Did you shrink?
Who are you?
I'm Famine. Do you know me?
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, this must have been Lord Terror's doing. I knew he was up to no good.
I was so confused at this point. Famine could see that I was overwhelmed.
You are the Grim Reaper, or Death. I'm Famine, and we have 2 friends, War and Pestilence. We establish order in the world. But Lord Terror, as he calls himself, started messing with stuff. He's been infiltrating the villages and turning people into undead.
That's horrible. Those souls need to be freed and move on.
I thought that's what you were planning, but nobody has seen you for a while. Now I know something bad happened. You're smaller and you don't look like yourself.
This is a lot to take in. How about we get back to my base? It's not a castle, but it's safer than out here.
Sure.
Famine and I made our way back to my base, just in time for the sun to set. On days 4 to 5, I helped Famine make a little home at my base.
I was driven out of my home by the undead. I guess Lord Terror is getting more powerful as the days go on.
The house wasn't too fancy, but Famine seemed to like it, and she thanked me. No problem, anything for a friend. I went out to look for some more supplies when I saw a group of skeletons near a cave entrance. I'm Death, surely they won't want to harm me. As I approached, they seemed friendly, but then they started shooting me with their bows. Hey, we aren't enemies! Honestly, I didn't know anymore. I was just a baby after all. I used my sword to attack, and soon enough, they were all gone. Hey, what's that? I noticed a bow on the ground, and I picked it up. It had an enchantment of flame on it. Nice, this will come in handy. On day 6 to 8, well out in the forest near my base, I gathered some meat from some more cows and pigs. Famine got hungry a lot after all. I'm gonna keep working and getting stronger. Lord Terror doesn't stand a chance against me.
Is that so?
I looked, and to my surprise, it was Lord Terror. He had a few zombies around him. Let those innocent souls go. You don't have a right to keep them here. Lord Terror laughed and swung the scythe around.
I'm the Lord of Death now, Little Reaper. I won your scythe fair and square.
What are you talking about? He seemed tired of talking, so he swung at me instead. Whoa! He was fast. I tried to dodge him, but he kept getting hits in.
I beat you once. I will beat you again.
I gotta get out of here. I ran as fast as my little legs could carry me. As I did, I heard Lord Terror laughing from behind me.
That's right, Little Reaper. Run away. I will see you soon enough.
On days 9 to 10, I made it back to the base. Famine could tell I was hurt, and she tried her hardest to help me.
It's okay, Death. You will grow stronger and eventually beat Lord Terror. He's just a silly little monster trying to steal other people's things.
I felt a little bit better after our talk, but I still felt exhausted.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have a surprise for you.
She brought me outside to show me a statue she was beginning to make.
Ta-da!
It's great, Famine! Is it a tent?
No, silly. Do you really not know what it is?
I looked again. Can you tell what it is?
I also made some other upgrades while you were gone.
She showed me the lanterns and a small archery range. Wow, you've really outdone yourself.
It's the least I can do for a friend.
Famine was awesome. I was glad I was able to find her. I hoped our other friends were doing okay. I would go looking for them soon. On days 11 to 12, I had a vivid dream. I was a fully grown Grim Reaper with my scythe at my side. I was living in the castle that I had escaped from on day 1. Everything is as it should be.
Not quite.
I looked and saw Lord Terror, except he looked like a normal villager.
I believe we have a game that needs playing, Death.
With his dark powers, Lord Terror began to steal away my energy and my ability. He shapeshifted into his mutant wither skeleton self as I became a sad little baby Reaper. Ah! I woke up in horror at the nightmare I had just had. I rushed to Famine to tell her about it. She shook her head.
So that's what happened. I knew you made a deal with a dying human, but I didn't know you lost all your power in the process.
That can't be it. Why am I back, but as a baby? Why can he control the dead? Famine shook her head.
Maybe our friends know. I think it's about time we go find them.
On days 13 to 15, I went out to explore. I was hoping to find war or pestilence, but they didn't seem to be anywhere. I hope they weren't captured or anything. I realized I was back in the area where I had seen Famine for the first time. There were a bunch of zombies milling around still. I guess they just expected her to come back. Get lost! I drew my bow and defeated them one by one. I didn't realize it until now, but I was releasing their souls from their bodies. I was freeing them. Nice! I managed to release all their souls when I felt a power coursing through me. I grew in size and became an older Grim Reaper. I'm bigger and I have 30 hearts. I realized I could also now turn invisible for short periods. That'll come in handy. I can't wait to try this out later. On days 16 to 19, I found a cave and decided to mine for some more materials. This looks promising. Hopefully I can find some iron in here. As I was venturing deeper into the cave, I saw a group of skeletons standing right on top of an iron deposit. It looks like I'm gonna have to take care of that. I drew my bow. They noticed me immediately and began shooting. Come on, guys, I just need some iron. After just a few more shots, they were all gone, their bows and arrows scattered around me. I mined the iron without any more trouble and got to work. I smelted the iron into ingots with a furnace, then was able to make a new sword, pickaxe, and some other tools. Yes, things are looking up. On days 20 to 22, I started to head back to my base when I noticed I was being followed. I went invisible briefly and waited for them to approach. Then, as the figure approached, I turned visible again and jumped out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm a friend.
He was a crimson wizard, and the red of his outfit made me think of anger, which then made me think, are you War?
In the flesh. Yeah, I thought you looked kind of different. You're, not as tall as you used to be.
I told him what happened, and he whistled.
That sounds awful. Hopefully you can get your scythe and your castle back. Those are pretty sick.
Thanks?
No problem.
I invited him back to my base, and he happily agreed.
And I thought my house was a fortress, you know, being war and all. But those pesky undead got inside and started breaking everything. So I left. Good thing I ran into you.
We were nearly to the base when we saw Famine running toward us.
Oh, hey, Famine!
She didn't even acknowledge war.
Death! Lord Terror is outside. He is threatening to take down the base. Wait, war?
Sheesh, it's like I'm invisible.
Stay here. I'll go see what he wants. If I need help, I'll call for you. War and Famine got to catching up while I approached the entrance. Sure enough, Lord Terror was there with my scythe. I believe that scythe belongs to me.
See now, little Reaper. I won this fair and square. You agreed to the terms.
I don't even remember what happened. And you're just a human. You can't beat death. That's my calling.
You're wrong. The witch gave me the ability to win this power.
Witch? Lord Terror screamed and charged at me. I dodged him and used my Ice Blast ability to try to stop him. It didn't work for some reason. What in the world? He laughed and lunged at me again. I slashed him with my new iron sword. I actually managed to hit him, and he looked at me in shock. I was about to hit him again when he slammed the scythe into the ground, pushing me back.
I'll be back to finish you off.
And with that, Lord Terror ran away.
What a coward.
I'll say.
I looked and saw War and Famine looking out from behind the trees. I did manage to wound him though, so that means I'm getting stronger.
Yeah, but you have a lot of work to do.
On days 23 to 26, I chatted with War about Lord Terror.
You definitely need some upgrades if you're gonna fight Lord Terror and beat him. I can think of a few things that might be useful to you.
Like what?
Well, you definitely need to upgrade your sword. Iron is alright, but you need some diamonds and an enchanting table to improve your attack.
Okay, where should I go? War told me all the places where I would find the supplies. It wasn't a short list. This might take a while.
You want to defeat Lord Terror and get your scythe back, right?
Of course I do.
Then get to it.
I started gathering materials for the enchanting table and managed to make one all by myself.
Good job, Death.
Thanks. If you think I'm doing a good job, be sure to join me on all my other adventures. Just search ZOZO. On days 27 to 31, I went to check on Famine. I hadn't seen her while I was gathering supplies, and I wanted to make sure she was okay. Hey, Famine, how are you liking your house?
It's great. Look what I've been working on.
She led me to the statue, which I could definitely tell was an hourglass. You've made some great progress.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite there yet. I wanted to add something special on top. It's a surprise. Could you get some white and black wool for me?
Sure. I made my way outside to find some sheep to bring back to the base. I found an abandoned village and spotted some sheep in pens. Perfect! As I went to collect them, I heard something approaching. A horde of zombies were coming toward me. They must have been the villagers that used to live here. You guys need a rest, and I'm so sorry Lord Terror is doing this to you. I used my weapons to release the souls from the undead. I was much more powerful and helped them all in just a few moments. Hopefully, you can all be at peace now. I gathered the sheep and managed to bring them all back to the base. It wasn't easy, but I knew that Famine would appreciate it. On days 32 to 35, I went to gather some more food for all of us. Pork seemed like a pretty safe bet. I know the pigs will be easy to find, but I need to wait until dark for the zombies. I decided to set up a little trap for them, and sure enough, they fell right into it.
Impressive, Death.
Who is that?
You don't recognize my voice? Shame on you, old friend.
Then I saw someone step out from behind the mushrooms. Of course I didn't notice her. She was a mushroom lord. She blended in. Pestilence.
Did you shrink?
Yeah, I shrunk. I told Pestilence what had happened, and she hissed in disapproval.
Now, why would you do that, Death? You are too clever to be outsmarted and depowered by some lowly wither skeleton.
That's the thing. I think Lord Terror cheated me. He mentioned something about a witch. I think that he somehow won because of her.
Well, the only witch I know of is Famine.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. I've heard of an apothecary that lives here in the swamp. Maybe that's who he went to.
This is great information. Pestilence agreed to take the food back to the base while I looked for the witch. Hopefully, she could give me more information about Lord Terror. On days 36 to 39, I journeyed further into the fungal patch in search of the witch. I thought for sure that I would find her, but I didn't see a house anywhere. Where in the world is she? I looked around some more when I saw a group of rabbits. They were acting kind of strange, a little too organized. Maybe they're her henchmen or something. I should follow them. Actually, they're probably just stocking up on food. How silly of me to think that they were working for the witch. Then I noticed that the rabbits all gathered together again. They seemed to be examining each other's food. Okay, I should maybe look somewhere else. Then the rabbits all bounded toward a large mushroom and disappeared. Whoa, where did they go? I quickly followed after them, running straight toward the mushroom. On days 40 to 43, I ran through the fungal patch, chasing the rabbits. What in the world?
Intruder!
A large group of rabbits came bounding toward me.
What are you doing in Our Lady's realm? Did you have an inquiry?
Is this where the witch lives? The rabbits gasped.
You dare call her such a rude name! She is an apothecary of great renown!
Sorry, I just need answers. I don't mean her any harm.
You look like you do.
Then the rabbits started jumping at me. Hey! I didn't want to hurt them, so I just tried to swat them away as nicely as I could.
Death? What are you doing here?
I looked up to see a friendly witch.
Friends, no need to harass Death. I'm sure he has a reason for being here.
The rabbits stopped attacking me and quickly surrounded the woman. Who are you?
I'm Amelia. I wasn't expecting you for quite some time.
I'm not here to collect your soul. I just need to know why you helped Lord Terror.
Lord Terror?
He stole my power and made me regenerate. He took my scythe and is using it to keep souls captive in their undead bodies. Amelia gasped and started to shake her head.
That was Logan Turner. I gave him a potion of luck. He said he needed it in order to fulfill his last dream before he passed. I had no idea he would use it for such an awful thing.
She seemed genuinely upset.
I can't undo what's been done, but maybe this can help you.
She went inside her house and came out with a potion. What is this?
A potion of strength. You will need that in order to get your scythe back.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you again, but hopefully not for a long time.
She waved goodbye as I left her realm, returning to the swamp. On days 44 to 49, I returned to my base. Pestilence, famine, and war were having a good time together. I noticed they had improved their homes as well as the wall of the base. You've been busy.
So have you, my friend. Did you find the witch?
Apothecary, and yes, she was very nice. I told them the whole story and showed them the potion.
That'll be useful later. I'm glad you were able to find her. Probably gave her quite a scare though.
Just a little bit. We all laughed and chatted for a little bit before Famine jumped up.
Oh, come look at the statue.
I went to look and sure enough, Famine had outdone herself. On top of the hourglass was a skull that looked just like my face. Whoa, it's amazing.
You've been a great friend to us, Death. It's the least we can do.
We admired the statue together for a little while longer and then went to bed. On days 50 to 53, I woke up to a loud crash. I hurried outside to see what it was, and there were zombies everywhere. I could see Lord Terror standing on the edge of the wall. Come and fight me yourself, Logan.
Don't call me that.
He snarled at me and then swung the scythe. It nearly knocked me over, but it also knocked out some of the undead. Time to be freed, my friends. I used my iron sword on the group of undead, freeing them from their cursed bodies. It took a little while, but I eventually got them all. You can all be at peace now. Just then, I felt a pain in my back. I grew taller and gained more hearts. I looked at my back to see what the pain was and realized that I had grown dark feathery wings. Whoa, this is amazing. I flew up for a minute to survey the damage. This is gonna take some time to fix.
Death!
I looked and saw Famine and Pestilence running toward me. I lowered myself to the ground. What's wrong?
Lord Terror took war. The undead were just a distraction.
No! I slumped to the ground. I thought I could protect everyone, but Lord Terror was too clever. He needed to pay. On days 54 to 57, we all worked hard to fix the base. We gathered supplies, made the walls taller, and added extra security measures, including a small moat. After working all day, we sat down to chat about our next move.
There's no doubt that Lord Terror took war to the castle.
Why do you say that?
Oh yeah, you don't remember. There's a massive dungeon in the basement. It has cages, traps, and all sorts of things. We actually used it to meet there sometimes for brunch.
Sounds lovely.
It was. We should do it again soon.
Famine cleared her throat.
Sorry, but he'll be there for sure. There is a back entrance where we would come in. Quicker that way.
Pestilence gave me directions, and I wrote them down. I needed to find our friend before Lord Terror did something awful. But first, I needed to prepare. On days 58 to 62, I went mining for more diamonds. I needed to make some better armor and weapons for myself, since I had no idea what I might face at the castle. I wasn't having any luck, and was about to go search another cave, when I saw a glimmer just up ahead. Diamonds! I walked forward, then felt something fall on me from above. It was a huge hairy spider, and he had brought some friends. I'm a friend, no need to hurt me. The spiders kept attacking, and I had no choice but to defend myself. Soon enough, they were all gone. Now, on to the diamonds. The deposit was actually really large, and I managed to make armor, plus a new sword and a pickaxe. Sweet! I felt just a little bit more ready to go save war. On days 63 to 66, I noticed that part of the statue had been damaged during the fight. I didn't want to finish it without war, so I just admired it, with all its burns and marks. I'll save you, War. I promise.
Hello, Mr. Death, sir!
I looked and saw some of Amelia's rabbit friends gathering around me. You aren't going to jump on me again, are you?
No, sir, we need your help. Amelia has been captured by that Lord Terror man. We don't have the strength to get her back. Could you get her back?
The rabbits looked very concerned. Of course, he has my friend too. He's probably keeping them in the same place.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Death, sir.
I'll be back soon. In the meantime, you can wait here with my friends. They can help you. They agreed to stay while I rescued Amelia. This was going to be a little bit more difficult, but I was determined. And hey, if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe. We love having you here with us. On days 67 to 70, I followed the directions to the backdoor entrance of the dungeon. It was hiding behind some trees and bushes. Good job me for thinking ahead. I entered quietly and made my way down, down, down. I didn't hear much for a while, so I thought I was in the clear. What was that? I turned a corner and saw a swarm of zombies blocking the hallway. They saw me and started ambling toward me. Get back! I used my wings to fly over them. I fired my ice blast at them from the air, freezing them solid. Peace, friends. I lowered myself in front of a door and opened it carefully.
Death!
It's about time you showed up.
War and Amelia were stuck in cages, and I quickly broke the bars to free them.
How did you know I was here?
Your loyal little friends told me.
They really are the best, aren't they?
Sure are. Let's get out of here. On days 71 to 74, we made our way back up toward the back door. Then I noticed a lever I hadn't seen before. It was hiding behind a pillar. I wonder what this opens.
Is that a wise idea?
It was my house. I'm sure it'll be fine. I released the lever and the trapdoor opened. I went inside and saw a chest in a small room. There's a chest.
Well, what are you waiting for? Open it.
I opened it, and inside were netherite ingots, gold, diamonds, and some other ingredients for enchanting. Wow! I climbed back up and showed War.
Hey, you can finally make that sword we've been talking about.
Right! We continued out, following the stream of daylight. On days 75 to 78, we finally made it out.
Thank goodness. I was beginning to think that Lord Terror would hold us there forever.
Not so fast.
Lord Terror came around the corner, scythe in hand.
You dare take my witch and my strongest soldier?
I am not a witch.
Then I would never fight for you.
We brandished our weapons as Lord Terror snarled.
Why won't you just die?
He swung the scythe, but I managed to dodge. I then swung my sword and hit Lord Terror. He stepped back, then swung again. He was fast, but I was an equal opponent now. I could sense his fear.
No, 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 no!
He slammed the hilt of the scythe into the ground and blasted us back. Somehow, through some dark magic, he stole my potion of strength and drank it. On days 79 to 84, we all watched in horror as Lord Terror grew and grew and grew. He was enormous!
Oh no!
We need to go! Lord Terror laughed as I picked up my friends and flew away with them. This has to end soon, or Lord Terror is going to take over everything. On days 85 to 89, we arrived safely back at my base. Famine and Pestilence came running out to greet us.
Okay, you better not cry, because I'm not good at dealing with emotion.
Amelia saw her rabbits, and they all jumped for joy. It seemed like things were at least a little normal for now.
Death, come! We need to fix that sword of yours.
War took me to upgrade my sword, and then showed me how to enchant it. Wow, this will really help, War. Thanks for everything you've done.
Hey, I love conflict, but not when it involves my friends. It's the fire aspect enchantment. It'll give your sword a burning edge. This will help you to get your scythe back.
How?
Lord Terror doesn't always have the scythe with him. He likes to hang it up in the main corridor and just admire it. I heard him talking about it while we were captured.
This is great information, War.
If you can fight him off long enough to get the scythe back, that'll be the key to stopping Lord Terror for good.
I agreed and went to show my friends. They oohed and awed before Famine spoke up.
Come and see what Pestilence and I did with the help of the rabbits.
They took me over to the statue, which now had wildflowers growing all around the base. On top was the skull, now with flowers and a touch of flames. Guys, this looks awesome.
You are the Lord of Death, but we know you have a soft side.
I do like flowers. I stared at it in awe. I really did have amazing friends. On days 90 to 94, I traveled back to the castle to retrieve my scythe. If I did it while Lord Terror was unaware, surely I would be able to defeat him. As I approached the castle, I decided to just hide next to one of the pillars inside the throne room and stake it out. I could see Lord Terror back to his normal size. Thank goodness. He was standing around, admiring the scythe. That's mine. I waited for a long time before he fell asleep. I quietly opened the door and snuck past him, grabbing the scythe from the wall. I expected to grow into my full form, but something was wrong.
Intruder!
Lord Terror started to charge at me. I brandished my new sword and smacked him backwards. He brought out another potion and drank it before charging at me. He was incredibly fast, and I could barely see him as he struck me. Oh no! My hearts were fading fast since I couldn't defend myself. I ran away, taking the scythe with me.
It won't work for you, little Reaper. You are too late.
I didn't know what he meant, but I flew away before he had a chance to attack me again. I need to fix whatever he did to my scythe, otherwise I'm dead meat. On days 95 to 97, I brought my scythe back to the base and had War examine it.
I don't know what to tell you. It looks normal to me.
Maybe Amelia will know. I took it to her and she examined it.
This is my fault. Lord Terror forced me to make a binding spell. He is now bound to the scythe by an enchantment.
How do I break it?
I'll have to make a counterspell, but it will probably take a few days. I might even break it.
Do it. She worked tirelessly trying to fix the scythe, and I did what I could to assist her. I really need this to work. On day 98, I helped Amelia with what I could, but she said I needed to wait for the result. I made my way outside and admired our base and the statue. It had been a difficult journey so far, but I was glad that I had found my friends, made some new ones, and grown stronger. Even if my scythe didn't work, I knew that I would defeat Lord Terror somehow. Hey, we're really glad that you've been here on this journey too. Be sure to subscribe and search for Zozo for more videos. Also, comment below on what my next adventure should be. I can't wait to see what you say. On day 99, I went to look for Amelia. She looked a little discouraged.
I don't know if the spell worked. You'll need to wield it in battle to see.
Well, then I guess it's time to go fight Lord Terror.
I'm sorry about all the trouble I've caused. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened.
Maybe, but I'm glad it did. I got to find my old friends again, build an awesome base, and meet you. You're an awesome apothecary, Amelia.
Which? But who's keeping track? Go give him, well, you know.
I smiled as I flew off towards the castle, scythe in hand. As I landed on the steps, the door was open for me. The undead were nowhere to be seen, but Lord Terror stood on the steps, sword in hand, potion in the other.
You can't defeat me.
We'll see about that. I took my scythe and slammed the hilt into the ground, causing everything to shake. I felt a surge of power, and I was connected to my weapon again. I grew taller, my hearts increased, and my wings spanned further. You have cheated death, Logan Turner, and for that, you must pay. Lord Terror drank a potion, and he grew taller. As our weapons met, there was a brilliant burst of light.
It's not fair. I am Lord Terror, the new Grim Reaper. I earned that title.
I lifted myself into the air, letting the scythe swing down with a mighty force. You stole that title! I am the rightful Grim Reaper, and now you must move on! Lord Terror screamed before the scythe made contact, and in a burst of smoke, he was gone! On day 100, I flew back to the base triumphant and glorious in my final form. Everyone cheered as I descended, and they even tried to hug me.
You're our hero! The world is finally right again!
And that was the honest truth.